We can always grab a Red Bull for you at halftime.
Maybe.
Red Bull slush from Sonic.
I know, that looks really appetizing to me.
So much stuff.
The most stuff.
I think it'd be way
There's
better
more
to just
stuff.
get like
Most
a
stuff.
small Red Bull and then a small slush and just mix
You
them
brought a
together.
bazooka. This is a no-gun household.
Who the fuck told you that?
Me.
Me.
Those have you had those Oreos most stuff yet?
No.
I've been very curious.
They're
I would just want to see
pretty
what they if they
I'm
actually
afraid
look like
of
they do
them.
on the package.
Yeah.
I've gotten them before. They're
That's not
weird.
actual.
I think Oreos called it stuffed because they couldn't
Oh.
use shit. Like say double shitted Oreos or something like that.
The Oreo. Oh, that's.
This
That's
is the ugliest
disgusting.
Oreo I have ever.
I
It's
am
just two double stuffed
horrified.
Oreos.
Well, yeah, it literally
crushed
looks like
together.
it literally
So-
looks like the
so
kid in the
bougie.
cafeteria that you know takes the takes
yeah.
the double stuffed Oreos together, like takes them apart and says, "Look, I made quadruple stuff."
Or like I used to have to do before they came out with double stuff. Why did
Right, I remember when they didn't have double stuff. That was like a
It'd be funny to
revelation.
take one of those, but mix it with
Walmart.
another one.
Why am I not signed into my Dice Cloud?
I'm not doing mine either.
I just had some.
Oh, I should probably check that, huh? If we're having issues.
I was like, we're on level 5.
Just log it on your
Are
Google.
we?
Nobody checked my
I
dice
thought I
cloud.
was
I'm still at
level
level 2.
You are, but you're not supposed to tell everybody.
What the fuck?
I've been secretly leveling Apostle. As the big bad, he needs to have quite the power.
Oh my god. Hey, give me 2 seconds before we start.
I thought Cloudman was the big bad.
This arc, not overall.
Have you been lying about your rolls then?
What?
To make you seem weaker?
No.
He's like,
just
no,
been
I
rolling
actually
that
do
bad.
roll like shit.
Andrew and I definitely didn't talk
As someone
about
who's
that
completely in
inside.
ties with one of the top archers in the country, no, he is completely at the right level.
I also got signed out of Dice Cloud. That's weird.
I wonder if they did an update.
Or maybe it's just because we haven't. I mean,
Played
I
in,
haven't
like, 8
been.
years.
Yeah.
What is
Spin.
D&D?
No, none of us
It's
have
been
played
eight
that.
years.
Dicking
What do I do?
donuts. Dicking the donuts.
What? Where's my?
Dicking the donut?
Dicking the donuts, my man.
How many?
Two of my favorite things.
Where are all my D6?
How many sides does a D20 have? I don't get it.
Would
Ooh,
anyone
trick
I
question.
think for you
like
it's 12.
a piece of bubble gum?
I'm good, thank you though.
No, thank you.
Cheesies.
Oh, no, I'm okay. I was like, oh,
Bazooka, Zooka, bubblegum.
Like a
Never.
chocolate bar.
I've never had bazooka bubblegum.
Neither have I, but I've
How many cards are we
sure
supposed to
chanted
have?
about it a lot.
It
I have
tastes like
5.
bubble gum.
Cards?
Make sure you only have run cards in your hand. Play immediately, go on the table before the start.
What are wilds?
Are we?
Oh.
Yeah, that tracks.
How are we doing ritualistic sacrifices?
Well, I got some chickens, but it's up to you to pick the healthiest one.
Okay.
How do you tell which is the healthiest one?
Whichever one is
How
the
many
fastest.
mana can I tap at once?
You tap whatever you like, baby.
Oh yeah.
I think we're mixing the our games
Can you
here.
max out on your-
What happens when I
Yeah,
get
he
one
was
in a
doing
row?
killer bunnies
Oh,
at
Yahtzee.
first.
I haven't played that in so long.
Never
Just
played.
gonna go ahead,
Can we play that next game?
throw this
later?
out here. I don't know how rusty I am, but I appreciate you all.
When did
Oh,
we get to
return
the
favor by not
Stonehenge?
judging me.
When do we get to Stonehenge?
Stonehenge?
That does
Oh,
It
yeah,
kind of looks like
it's
Stonehenge.
Christmas henge. Yes.
It's intimidating, whatever it is.
They look like
Is this our Christmas special?
It
Christmas in
is.
June.
In this game, let's just assume if this is ever watched in an archive, it's Christmas.
Oh yeah.
And some reason, there's a time jump to Christmas time.
It's actually Christmas time in real life. For those of you watching later on.
That's why I'm wearing a crop top.
And it's just really
Steady.
hot in the
I don't know, I
in
got
this
jeans.
house.
It's pretty cold.
We all came all dressed up in coats and pants and just stripped.
And
Alright,
crop
alright.
tops.
Do we have a mod in the group?
I sure do.
Ember,
Somewhere.
hostile. There we go. Mistress.
Probably not.
Indy. Do we have Melody?
Hanya.
Amber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Previously
I feel
on
like we're
Don't
missing
Trust
someone.
Me. It's been a while. Mrs. Recap, God help you.
I gotta listen.
After a long night of debauchery, the game. I wrote the game and not the gang.
Game.
Wait, edit there. I can see how this is going to be.
No, I think you meant game.
After a long night of debauchery, the gang awakens in Puerto New Mexico on a quest to claim the town's water supply of possible corpse contamination. Will
That's
some
right.
members, with some members, haggard from the previous night's drinks, they haphazardly descend into the well to deal with the issue, ultimately discovering several horrible aquatic arachnids hoarding a large supply of corpses deep in the well. After the group dispatches them all, they ascend back to the surface to see the day's rituals being constructed, with lots resembling olden days sacrificial tendencies. After questioning some local naked orcs in town, it is guessed that Cloudman is scheduled for a ritualistic martyring among the town
I
folk.
forgot they were naked.
One guy was naked. The group confronts Orgil, the town chief, in order to possibly persuade him to retrieve the pocketbook for Cloudman and possibly free him of his ritual duties for the day. As they plan for this encounter, Melody checks her long-standing Walkman radio to discover the amplified sounds of static due to her proximity of the distressed location. The sounds echo loudly with the sheer sound of chaos, screaming from unknown voices, followed by the utterance of a familiar voice. What are you waiting for? She's listening. Go ahead. Before the radio clicks itself off, unable to be reactivated.
Horrific.
The group relays info on the pretenses of these what the pretenses of these messages could mean. From the proximity of the afflicted town to the sound of the voice in the recording, matching that of he who lights the lanterns. Afterward, they escort Orgil in, where after determining that these bizarre barbaric traditions of theirs have only been occurring for a few weeks now, they forcefully convince him to look the other way and allow Cloudman and the group to leave with their Bible.
Oh my god.
The group speedily flees the town back to their smashed, desolate vehicle, only to discover a large amphibious creature ransacking the apparatus. It is then quickly revealed that Lua and one of her pets have come to greet the group, and surprisingly takes the liberty of moving the vehicle out of the static range in exchange of not traveling to locations so hard to track. In the future, she and her beast disappear into the ether as the group speeds off to avoid the oncoming orc onslaught. As the group draws close to the western strip, they camp outside of a nearby outpost in order to recuperate for their day's adventure. As they sleep, Mont dreams of events prior to his union with the current party, featuring the voice of her long-lost friend crying out desperately for help against an all-encompassing power that threatens the both of them. As he awakens to a phone call from an operator that tried to reach him earlier in the day, he answers and converses. He discovers the voice that heavily matched the tone of somebody painfully close to him in his past. But once he realizes the voice's origin, the man on the line reveals himself as Flail, the now currently permanent operator for Mod in the upcoming days. Alrighty, group.
So much happened
2 years
last
later.
time.
Fucking circling through the desert.
Mod approaches President Cloudman with some requests.
And
Holy
Hustle
shit.
died 1 year and 364 days ago.
I brought you the ashes of Melody and Indy. What should I do with the rest of them? Oh yes, feed them to me at once.
I was like,
Sprinkle them on my spaghetti.
Sorry
like
for the-
bury them
sorry
together.
for the spoilers. I will tease Mod, however. I want Melody, Mistress, Hostile, and Ember all to roll d20 dice for me.
Which one is that?
Shut the fuck up and roll!
That's one
It's
with
your
6
big
sides.
Do the big one. It's the big.
13.
10.
Do you just throw all your dice away right now? Why don't you do? What did you roll? 3? You both rolled 3.
No, I rolled 13.
Oh, okay.
The first time I rolled these dice, I rolled
17.
an 18, then a 19, then a 20.
And
then
now
the
you're
next,
starting over.
Next time I pull them out, I roll a fucking
Next
3.
one will be a 4.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
What did you get, Melody?
DS.
Quite a spread of rolls.
Talking about your roll spread. What happened?
Amy exploded.
What the hell happened?
Dante and I were like holding hands. She
Did
didn't
she move
notice
back?
it.
Oh, you just.
They just wanted a
It's
headrest.
like what happened when like two kids at a
A hook
playground,
alley
their
wearing your
swings
dad's shirt.
link up
Oh
to
yeah,
something.
no. You
And then
guys
a
should
kid
see my
runs
shirt.
through the middle and gets freaking
Yeah.
to ruse the marriage because they'll have to get off this way.
I should show off my shirt before we go any further. Jordan got me a custom shirt with my cats on it.
Oh my god.
Oh my
York.
God.
Oh.
Yeah, it's super cheesy. I love it.
And she's like, I really hope he wears it.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear it. It's great. It's got my babies on
Show
it.
Dan.
It was so chubby.
Look. Oh my god.
Oh!
Liam's gonna grow up.
Yeah.
Liam's gonna grow
That's
up and
really
be like,
good.
Dad, why don't you have a shirt of me?
What the fuck,
Because
Dad?
I don't actually love you.
I feel like that's a-
That's Jordan. Oh.
I feel like that's a little weird to like have a picture of your kid's face just
Son.
right on your.
I picture him.
Then
just
I
having
guess
the
I'll
face,
cancel
like,
the
you know, how,
order.
like Tom Cruise is like always has that meme of him like laughing in the sky. That's Liam's face.
That'd be hilarious. It's like this same shirt with just Liam in the corner just going ah.
And all the. Anyway.
Welcome to D&D. We're really on task tonight.
Yes, we are.
Always.
We haven't seen each
Mistress.
other in a minute.
After dealing with this last couple encounters throughout the small excursion you've had with this group of misfits and debaucherers, possible murderers that you've been assigned against your will by one of your higher ups, you guys travel back to this outpost at the end of the day. You're feeling maybe, depending on your tendencies, a little out of place compared to your normal work atmosphere. The safety of the labs, while boring and unstimulating, had its perks. Its control group, if you will, something to remind you that you still have a chance of waking up the next morning. Getting to sleep here, the events of the days have really just absolutely worn on you, and you find yourself able to crash with relative ease. That being said, being mentally, what? I don't know. I'm just
I'm
trying
sorry.
To,
What's
just
happening?
trying to give you a scene.
I apologize.
Did I mess up?
No,
Oh.
I did it dumb.
I think I saw something I wasn't supposed to. And I'm laughing
do?
about it too.
I changed Mistress's alignment on Dice
Oh,
Cloud.
are you evil now?
Well, previously there was no alignment there.
Let me see.
Now it's just possibly evil.
She got so excited when they mentioned slaves last session. It was odd.
Well, that's
Slaves?
just you being you.
No, that was Mistress responding.
I figured that was just like something that
I
Mistress
saw
was
Little
into.
Sam. I know what you like.
You find yourself falling asleep with relative ease in comparison to your normal, to the normal nights. The mental exhaustion of dealing with the static field versus the confrontation in the sewer, the orcs all kind of weighing down here. And as you drift into sleep, it's not long before you find yourself awake back in your office. The cold texture of your desk mixed with the possible disorganization of the day's work that lay strewn about above it. You notice immediately that the atmosphere around you is increasingly dark and void of life. You don't hear any sign of any coworkers within your ward of the wings, and even if getting up and exploring a bit, wouldn't notice any of the other wings having any sort of current work occupation going on at this time. Standing amongst yourself, you realize that you must have nodded off during your day's work here, and it is far, far past closing time. Which isn't necessarily a feat that would be uncommon against the workers of the CCP labs. You leave when you finish your work. Overexhaustion is a principle for many people who are invested in their lives. This is much later than normal, however. You are definitely the only coworker still left in this office building, and picking yourself up, it's about time that you would make your way home for the day. Whether it be somewhere in the capital or taking a transit back to the city in which you reside in for the evening, you walk off. As you walk here, roll me a perception, please.
Perceive, if you dare.
You cross by one of the large sky bridges that bridge the many different wings and wards of the CCP labs. And as you do, you cross through an intersection that, in a normal situation, is so unnoticeable that it's hard for you to turn an eye. But as you turn through this intersection here, you feel a chill amongst yourself, like some cold breeze is being pulled in from the left side of the intersection down through the right, which isn't normal. The air is normally very stagnant within the labs. As your head almost instinctually turns in the direction which the wind is going, you see down a large black obsidian wall that's in a location where it almost normally always is. But this time, wind is pulling you towards it for some reason. Something, whether it be a force coming from the opposite direction pushing you or something from that wall pulling, seems to be calling you towards it.
Mistress will say out loud, "Fascinating," and then walk towards it.
As you walk towards it, it seems like the bridge area that is the wall connecting the bridge to this black pillar is traveling away from you at the same speed, almost like kind of pulling itself down like a paintbrush going across the screen and slowly losing its ink as it goes. It's painting this long obsidian corridor further down as you walk. Soon, you're no longer walking on glass. Standing this deep in obsidian, the walls around you, the ceiling above you as well. Horrible cold black walls. So eventually you walk to a point where there's no longer any glass visible behind you. Like standing in space or a sensory deprivation chamber where you still have the air's comfort around you, but not entirely the safety of the situation aiding you forward. Turning back around. Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
It's fine, nobody panic.
17.
17. You feel kind of like a wave of heat rush into you. Specifically fixating on all of your joints, your shoulders, your elbows, your knees, even parts of your torso, the ridges of your spine, the parts where your neck meets your clavicle and the rest of your shoulder, the rib cage, all experience this sharp blast of heat, like something, even just for a moment, fixated on those points. But you keep going forward. And the air gets colder. Colder, colder. And it gets to the point where you're not even sure you're walking on the ground anymore. You almost feel like you're floating through this space. Roll a wisdom save for me.
9.
And as you travel through this space of infinite blackness, you feel yourself moving forward, yet your feet aren't even moving anymore. The tips glide slowly across the obsidian, the cold obsidian surface, and almost outstretching your arms, you feel yourself being pulled forward. Torso first, the limbs following along. And then you stop violently. Your limbs splay outwards in a pinwheel motion, legs outwards almost like a human starfish. You hear deep within the well. Another volunteer. Good, I was running low on help. Let's begin. The joints that connect your limbs radiate this iridescent circle around each of the limbs with your wrists, your elbow, your shoulders. Same with the legs, the hips, the knees, the feet. This ring of light billow around each one. You're able to move your hands, your legs, your neck, but as you do, your limbs drift off. Like a dissected Lego figure. Your hand moves, trying to collect itself, but drifts further off towards your left. Same with your forearm. Your lower legs travel off in infinite directions slowly. Now, our last test and exposure to the outer plane with a full body didn't quite go as I had planned. But we are not low on volunteers here, are we? Maybe it would work in smaller segments. Please, allow me to continue. One of your hands sucks in front, traveling in the other one, even several feet, and multiple other pieces of your body, stationed in front of you like a deranged set of game pieces. Let's see what I can do with this one. You feel your hand, your left one to be specific, flexing, grasping at nothing. Then it heats up, not painfully, but in a way that you would definitely notice and feel uncomfortable. It stops, shines a bright red, then black, and then crumbles into dust.
Oh shit.
Oh, still too big a piece, I see. No worries. I've gone bored of experimenting today. Goodbye. And as he says this, you see one of your limbs fade away to dust again. And then another, all crumbling. Until it's just your head staring out to the black. The black quickly turns a dark, shiny copper green. And you hear the sound of glass shattering. Ember. Something you wouldn't have really communicated to the majority of the group. As being in the vicinity of this town for so long has definitely given you the migraine that had been accustomed to listening to these messages in the past. You notice as well, with the lack of complaining from the others may or may not be suffering the same symptoms, but you feel like if they were, if this static were giving them the same amount of head pain that you were currently experiencing throughout the day here, they would have said something. Surely they would have. But yet you're left to escape with them, drive across the landscape, and suffer the pains, the throbbing, the echoing, the howling that you heard from the radio, from the townsfolk, all kind of blending into one loud white noise. And this is what slowly puts you to sleep for the evening as you sit in this warm, crushed up vehicle with your cohorts for the rest of the evening. So, you really think the Legion is a good fit for you? I don't know, civil engineer work was really quite the study in my days. I feel like you should follow in my footsteps, your dad says, as he kind of sits in this recliner in this estate. Your mom currently away on the day for her work. You're packed, you have suitcases at your side, all your requirements you needed for boarding, for your training, for a long stay at the Grand Barracks deep in the Legion capital. You're resolved, but if there's any other chance to convince you to not go, this is your dad's attempt. Whether it be demanding or not, he tries it.
To not go?
It's like, remember, if you still need some time to figure out what you need to do, well, the guest room will always be open. Just don't forget about us, okay? You have any idea what you were wanting to do once you got promoted and started traveling the world?
No, I think I'll figure that out when I get there.
Okay. Okay. You know, your mom wanted to get promoted a while back, but something about the front lines that, I don't know, I guess made her afraid for my sake, and then at the same time yours, and then guess there's always the chance that you could become a freelancer as well, but at that point your priorities will be far beyond this household, and I don't blame you, hon. I don't plan to spend any more time away from this chair, and I can't force you to that fate. So we love you. You will do us a favor, right? Just message us when you get there, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got everything saved, everything back.
Goodbye. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
As you leave through the front door of your house, the door slams behind you. You turn away from your house to stare into a long, staticky expanse. You turn back around, the house where you were is no longer behind you. You're no longer standing on the street corner where you grew up and spent your days as a child. Your luggage is wandered off. You're not even wearing the same uniform you wore when you left the house. It's this deep, plain gray uniform. It's the same as the people around you. You turn to your left. There's a line of similar individuals standing like stark mannequins, evenly spaced out as far as you can see to your left. Turn to your right, and it's this exact same mirrored effect of these individuals splayed out like automatons waiting for their next order. You turn back ahead of you, and there's a giant switch in front of you. Like kind of a switch you pull to like change a railroad track, basically. What do you do?
I think I would go to poke one of the people. Are they close to me?
They're about 5 meters away, each one, like in succession. Like there's 5 meters between each one, so you walk out a bit and be able to experiment with them if you wanted to.
Yeah, I want to go to the left one and like push on them.
Make an investigation while you do so.
Uh, 22.
That's it. The individual here, as you experiment with them, contains you give him small nudges, gesticulate in front of his face, attempt to get his attention. He has the same bearings of any normal human being. He wobbles when he's pushed. It looks like it feels as though his skin reacts normally to the touch. If he would only respond to anything that you did to him, his eyes cold and vacantly stare out in front, as though nothing is holding his gaze deep within his brain. He doesn't react to you. Nothing you do to him makes him move or even respond.
And they all just look like normal people.
All of them do. Nobody you recognize, and if you do, it wouldn't have been for more than a moment.
I'll go back and take a look at this one.
Back 5 meters away from where the individual was is this switch, which seems anchored into just a static expanse. This big metal box with this large steel pole pointed in the upward position. A semi-rusted over tip that's kind of, whether or not been caked with some sort of moisture that has caused the oxidization of the metal, peaks the tip. And then, what?
No, go ahead.
And as you stare at this, you hear clicking from both sides of you. The figures pull the switches. Switches are in front of them as well as they pull them downwards. The only one that hasn't done it yet is you.
Is there like wiring or anything?
It's like
Just a
floating
switch.
in a white expanse. You walk in front of it, over around it, you don't bump into anything.
Don't move the switch. What if I go flip someone else's switch?
By traveling over to the others, you travel to the one to the right. It's pulled down. And the individual is bearing his weight on it, forcibly looking down, almost kind of in a ritualistic pose, as his weight bears down on the switch. And the next one, the next. It's like a demented mirror house. What would you want to do with them?
I would want to try to push it up, even while they're holding it down.
You go to pull up, and the individual counteracts your pull. His weight increases. You see his muscles flex up, and his gaze becomes serious, as though exerting force. He's pushing against you. You can make a strength check if you want, or an athletics
Fucking weak
if
as
you want
shit.
to.
Got 0 for both, so why not? 18?
Gets to the point where the force that the individual is putting on you is so immense that you realize you just have to cut off the head of the disease. You shove the individual to the side. He goes tumbling down onto the ground, and as he spills over to the white expanse, he continues to careen off until you can't see him anymore. And now you're in front of a switch that points downwards all by itself.
I'll flip it.
You bring it up. You grab the switch. You flip it upwards. You hear this loud, echoing boom from all around you. You hear several pained screams coming from some of the co-workers that are around you here. Not all of them. Maybe every third grab for their head and fall to their knees. And as they hit the ground with their knees, they sink away into the unknown. And as you do this, you hear the sound of static increase within your head. You look back up afterwards after looking away, and the switch is pointed back down again. As though it reversed on its own while you were there. And all the individuals that hadn't pulled their switches, or had pulled their switch and somehow made it, have been grouped closer to you. There being only about 20 now, the view not so endless. What do?
I'll flip it again.
You flip the switch
I'm
down.
gonna try to hold it up this time.
You hold it down, or hold it up this time. You break forward here. Once again, a cacophony of screams from the side of you. This time, it being over half of the remainder collapse, holding their heads to the ground, fade away deep into the ground of nothingness that's before you. And the sound of static is so immense now within your head, you almost feel like crying. Make a Constitution saving throw.
That's a 9.
9. You bring your hands up to your eyes to wipe away. It feels like the burning is coming from deep underneath, like a migraine pain, like those horrible ones you get like right behind your eyes that you feel like you will need to jam a stick into to fix. As you sit here and grasp at it, you look back up. The switch is pointed down again. But you can barely see it this time. It's almost as if your vision is being clouded over by this billowing wave of white imagery. It's like visual static is covering your current vision. You look down at your hands and it's the same. You look over to the one person next to you, the one person to this side next to you. There are only 3 of you left. What do you do?
I'll stumble over and go flip my switch.
You go back to where you came from. As though your brain finally realizes that you are the piece of the cog that's missing from this equation. You should have never moved. This is my job. This is where I stay. Pull the switch down. The view in front of you goes from this white to this horrible dark copper green, and then you hear the sound of glass breaking. Melody.
I feel like the moral of this is just never go to sleep in this campaign.
Rested.
Today you have experienced something you never thought you would experience in dealing with this heirloom that has been left behind by your by your friend here. You've discovered something deeper within the static that screams, that almost seems to be calling you for help, with a message just as confusing and just as harrowing as the cries bleeding through the noise. You're left with only questions, far more than the ones you had when you were left alone by yourself on the streets of Palegrass day during the festivals. You guys were all lucky to make it back to the van with your life. Encounter with Luau being slightly more positive than intended, nevertheless at odds with yourself. You're getting ready to go to bed. Is there anything you do before you go to bed?
I'd probably just confirm that there's no more sound on the Walkman. I know before it had been totally quiet, and so I just make sure that it's still quiet.
Put the headphones on, and you thought it would be happy, but for the first time in so long, the absence of the static noise feels like a defeat, a punch in the gut, like a loss of progress, despite the leap that you took. You hear absolutely nothing,
Okay.
no matter how much you finish the device.
I'll put it in my bag, and then I'm gonna sleep, so we're sleeping in the van,
Wherever you want.
right?
There's
we're
big
in the
spots
van.
in the back that there's one big part kind of where Carol is set, is her.
I'm going back in
spot is set up.
the P
And there's
section of the bus.
Like a large bench style one, and then there's kind of like the school bus style seats covering the edges here. There's a spot next to Maud at the who's I'm assuming sleeping at the helm of the vehicle.
Yeah, so I'm going to
Elsa's on top of the bus.
okay. I would probably just put my backpack up against the window, when you're a kid and you're tired on
Yeah.
the bus, you sleep. And I'd put my head down, but I'd still have one arm through a loop in case I have to make a fast escape. And my other arm is holding my guitar, my guitar's on my lap. So I'm prepared to where if I wake up and need to run, I can just
Yeah.
go. And then I'll just try to go to sleep. Let me make sure I don't have any spills or anything. Nope, I'm not Natalia. I don't have any spells for nighttime.
As close your eyes and let sleep overcome you, the darkness behind your eyelids turns white, as though being backlit by some ambient light source out in front of you here. The same level of heat rushes on you as well, the heat as though you were in the peak of July. And this sensation is also coupled with the sound of people around you, townfolk.
Okay. I'll open my eyes and just kind of assume that maybe like I had like a really like heavy sleep and then woke up to like everybody up and like gearing up for breakfast.
You open your eyes, and it's the sound of festivities around you. The folk of Palegrass taking part in their annual Soul Camp festival.
Okay.
All around you, people flock to listen to the music of the streets. You being crashed out in your normal spot, just barely peeking inside of an alleyway so that the scourge of the people walking through wouldn't disturb you as you walked around, as they walked around and enjoyed their day. But sure enough, the sun is peaking up and it's getting harder and harder to enjoy your sleep.
Okay. Am I wearing the same clothes I was wearing on the bus?
You look down and no. The clothes you wear are ragged, dilapidated,
Okay.
without any sort of washing or care. But that's not necessarily something that you're afraid of, something that's bothered you. In fact, this at least knows that you've been in control.
Okay.
You have a sense of familiarity with your low point.
And do I remember like being asleep on the bus and all that, or?
You remember needing to meet somebody today.
Okay.
A good friend of yours left late last night with a quest that he was going on.
Okay.
Although knowing the nature of his quest being a little difficult, as he doesn't quite speak the same language as you, but nonetheless, this is something you work forward to fixing for him.
Okay.
As you sit and peek outside of the alleyway and look around, sure enough, you see this this young, shaggy fellow that's wearing the same gear of clothes that you have, running through the streets, like blasting through different individuals, like knocking them over as they enjoy their festivities, holding this big cardboard box that just has the sound of rumbling and jiggling inside of it. As he comes barreling by, he does kind of like a sliding motion as he passes you in the hallway there, and he waves frantically to you as he passes you here.
Okay. And so you said I don't know Malik at this point?
You do. This is who you're waiting for.
Well, yeah, but I don't know the language.
You don't know? Oh,
Yeah.
Alex, sorry.
I know they sound the same.
Yeah.
The name is close. Okay. And so I don't know any, or I just don't know much.
You know very little. You met this individual maybe a week ago.
Okay. I would say hi to him and the other and Malik, and then I'm gonna like check outside onto the street and make sure that nobody like was chasing him or following him.
As he turns and looks in the other direction, he goes. He looks back at you with a frantic look, and you hear, "Hey, where'd he go?" Just
Okay.
rushing from that direction there, and his free hand, he grabs your hand, and you guys both bolt down the alleyway here.
Okay, I make sure to scoop up my guitar with my free
You
hand.
snatch it up, and as you're rushing
Running.
down here, the sound of the commotion coming from the box is just ever so present as the footsteps of the two of you echo down this alleyway before you duck out of sight, away from the persuaders that are amongst you here. He slaps the box down in front of you and gives you like a big happy grin as he pops it open. Grabs the side and he goes, "Corn." He holds up a corn dog.
Awesome. I like grin and like kind of like do one of those like bro slaps like on the shoulder, you know.
He does it back to you almost a little too hard for what he
Like
is right
how?
now. His connection to humans, or actual generous touch and respectful interaction with a human being, is very, very minimal.
Okay.
But this box just fills the brim with frozen corn dogs.
So they're not even warmed up.
Nope. It's frozen.
I'll like kind of laugh, and I'll say it's a start. And then I'm gonna like just unzip a compartment in my backpack and just start shoveling them into the backpack. Does he have a bag or anything?
He doesn't.
Okay.
If they did, he left it wherever he left for the evening.
And so we'll pile them all in, or as much as I can fit. I don't know if I can fit them all in the bag.
No, this is a hefty box here, meant for freezer storage and not meant to be out in the open like this.
Oh God.
There's multiple dozens in there, but yeah, you can
Can't
stash
eat
some
all
in there.
these. And I'm gonna, yeah, I'll just put as much as I can in, and then try to stash it like behind like a dumpster or something.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna offer my hand to him.
He holds his hand out back to you.
Okay, so I'll take it, and I'm gonna try to find like a back entrance to a restaurant that's maybe like closed down for the festival. Like maybe they're out like doing like a food truck or something instead, to try to see if we can get in and like microwave these.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Okay, which dice do I use? Let's try this one. Okay. That is a 22.
Oh yeah, you know this town like the back of your hand. You knew exactly where to go when the situation happened. You knew you planned for it.
Okay.
You bring it back. You cross through the different alleyways, like looking at the top of a maze from up above. You just know exactly where to turn, which doors will be unlocked, which employees will be in the kitchen at this time of day. You burst in and you find yourself a safe spot. Just
Okay.
the two of you guys.
I'm gonna pull them out and I'm gonna like put them in the microwave and just start like nuking a bunch of corn dogs. They're at least edible because if they're like cold later, it's okay to eat them, but not like when they're frozen. So while they're going, and he doesn't understand like English.
He might. If he does, you can't speak it.
Okay.
The stuff he does is only the stuff you've repeated to him.
And I'm gonna say, try to be sneaky next time.
Sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let that.
Okay.
I mean, sneaky, yes, for me.
Okay.
Melody.
Am I going by melody right now? Because I'm not in
You will
Legion
help
yet.
us, won't you, Melody?
I'm like, how do you know that name? Then I'm like, I
As
like
you blink,
pinch myself.
what's sitting in front of you is just turned on Bachman. The doors where you guys entered are gone.
Okay.
The sound of the microwave dies down as though it's being sucked into some sort of audio deprivation scenario. You only hear the sound of your own breathing
Okay.
and the sound of static emanating from the radio.
I close my eyes again and try to go back.
As you close your eyes, you open them up to find yourself laying down in the fetal position next to the lockman in a cold alleyway. The sound of the townsfolk around you enjoying Soul Camp is dying down. You only hear the static and the heat of the flames around you as the town slowly burns. What do you do?
So at this point, I kind of assume that that it's not real or
Make a
that
wisdom
it's
check.
impossible, you know, because it
In a
just
dream, you often find that your worst enemy is yourself when it
make
comes to
any
making sense. to
sense. Is it just a check or a save?
stuff. Just a check.
Okay. 17.
17. As this clicks with you, you realize the shift in settings, the environment, the sounds don't make sense. They don't match up with reality of your past. This can't be real. Where are you right now? Something is taking a hold of you. This is either a spell or a dream.
Okay. I'm gonna put the headphones on.
You put the headphones on, and what normally would be static, you hear the soft sound of radio. Of a morning talk show. Simply a host discussing with his peers amongst themselves.
Okay.
The radio works.
Just normal. I'll like try the different stations.
As you filter through the next one, another show, next one, another show. The third one you get to, you hear this soft, blowing sound of wind rushing through. You hear, "You'll help us, won't you?" The language unfamiliar as to why this would come from this voice, but you know the voice. It's a voice you've been waiting for so long.
Okay. What can I do?
Keep looking. And then, if you wait long enough, I'll find you. As the sound of static begins to rush over, you throw the headphones off. It's no longer on the speakers. It's all around you. You look around, the walls have disappeared, the fires have been put out. You only see a dark expanse that slowly begins to build from this deep black abyss to a dark copper green. And then you hear the sound of glass smashing.
Oh shit.
Do you have anything to say?
Yeah. Well,
What do you
I was just gonna try to leave, but it's fine.
This is all kind of happening around the same time.
Sure.
So.
That's good.
Awesome. As you leave the town of Puerto, New Mexico, after all this ruckus has happened, at the end of the day in high spirits due to the raving success you've had in the events, despite whether or not you fully solved the issue with the orcs, you managed to outdrink one of their highest contenders there at the bar and make your way out with exactly what you guys were looking for, and nobody among the group permanently hurt. Which is good, because it's been a while since you've remembered the last time you left a mission where someone you loved didn't leave hurt. Leaving Rudenbaugh is a memory you try to repress, but you push back further and you can only find the flames of Millview with the same screaming static array piercing through its walls, stopping the technology around you. Very, very, very similar to where you are now. It's hard to believe that you've left with everything solved. It's hard to believe that you've done everything in your power to make sure that this event couldn't have happened again. You remembered that if you had just shown up one day earlier to Millview, maybe you could have saved him. If you would have just reacted maybe a second later to allow someone else to speak, or to allow Fisty to awaken, you could have saved her as well. There's always more to be done. But at the end of the day, you're safe. And you're back at the car. And the group around you begins to go to bed as you're outside of this outpost near the western strip. What do you do?
Man. I'll probably like get off the bus and like kind of take in my surroundings, just like see like what's around, all that kind of stuff.
The air around you is warm for it still being the kind of the mid-Julys here, but still cool as the sun is nowhere to be seen, and you're left with just the slight echoes of the insect life around you, the open sky. The air is slightly thick. Feels like it might rain soon. But other than that, you're by yourself outside.
I think he's just gonna walk, a good like 50, 60 feet away from the bus, just kind of like looking up at the night sky. Hands in his pocket, he feels the button. And he
The button feels it.
and he
goes
kind of
nuts.
starts thinking like, because of me, so many lives have been affected negatively, and he just kind of like sits down cross-legged and makes sure that there's really nothing around him, pulls the button and just sets it in front of him. And just probably sits there for a good, like, 30, 40 minutes contemplating, like,
Mm-hmm.
if the universe's will is for me to be suffering, for me to be, like, a harbinger of death and destruction, maybe it'd be better if, for the group, if, like, I was no longer around. Just, like, looking at the button,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just thinking, like, if I push this button right now and it happens to kill me, then that's just the universe's way of telling me that, like, I deserve to not be alive anymore.
Nothing else in
Jeez,
this
that's
is
awesome.
awful, period. And it must be the universe's.
And I think he just spends a good, like, hour just looking at it, thinking about pushing it, thinking about, like, everyone else in the group and, like, how much they've, like, done to help other people and how little Hostel's really done to, like, help out with different ways and, like,
As you contemplate this, you stare at the button, and the humidity in the air slowly moistening the skin around you. Your head dips. And you feel your vision collapse entirely. And right as this happens, you feel a right to your forehead. Like the feeling of a brass pole just smacking you alongside the head, and you think for an instant, oh my god, I fell on the button, I fucking killed myself. But you're blasted back and you crash into a series of old chairs and furniture that's around you. You see an old man standing in front of you with a big walking stick. The fuck you sleeping for, boy? We got work to do. Get up.
Hostel sighs and gets up.
You alright? You don't normally snooze where you're vulnerable. What if I was some sort of, I don't know, burglar or ruffian? I'd be snacking on your gizzards right now, and what would you be doing? You'd be crying yourself to sleep in hell. Dumbass.
I look back to see if the button's still there.
It's not. You look back down, and then you think to yourself, what button? What was I just thinking of? Of course. I had errands to do. Shit. Come on. We got stuff from the town we need to pick up.
Alright.
So the old man kind of slowly stammers over to this this series of coats hanging up on a coat rack. Each of them showing a series of age to them, like each one being from a different period of time almost. A series where Aramil is no longer able to wear these, whether it's from the memories it carried with him or for the fact that he's just a hoarder and he's bought more stuff since then and no longer needs them but doesn't have the willpower to throw them out. This heavy coat rack, he pulls off one of the newer ones, this long black brown kind of almost seems like a homemade trench coat that's kind of pieced and patched together with magic. Throws it over the shoulder. You need one too? I can whittle you down something. It's pretty cold out.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
You think I'm gonna just do work for you, motherfucker? He throws down one of the coats. Snip it up. I'll leave it in 5.
Get to work.
Give me a. Give me a sleight of hand check.
You take some of your old tools that you've been.
You get the feeling that it might be too short.
Roll another 3.
As you fling it over and you're like, well, I didn't remember myself being this tall, as it's clearly exposing like almost this entire top of you as you cut these big floppy sleeves. You look like a goddamn cartoon character right now. But It'll give you something for warmth.
Can I look at the jackets and see if there's another one I could give another shot at?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's at least 4 more up there.
Okay, I try.
Aramel doesn't look happy with you as he sits by the door with one hand on. He's kind of deep eyes, just kind of sagging down, where it's just like, my God.
Sorry. I'll do better this time.
Okay.
And I try. I like pull another one down and try again.
Do it again. Do it with advantage this time. You're warmed up now.
I'd like to think this is a jacket.
Yeah, just the little favorites.
No,
It's like gone from Hunter x Hunter. Just
I
with
rolled a
the
15 and a 1, so
Hey, there you go.
16.
That'll do it, yeah. Almost kind of using him for reference at this point. You're able to like put it on ahead of time and then work with it rather than just stab it like a freaking demented hillbilly.
Just using a. just,
You cut up coat you can call your own, and you think you just might wear it for a while now. And this, deep in your mind, I think I remember this coat. This is, it resembles a coat that you wear in your day-to-day life.
that I currently still wear. I'm glad I redid that.
Yeah.
I look like a real dum-dum.
You would look stupid going out. Alright. We gotta go check on a commission for some whittling wood down at the craftsman shop.
Sounds good.
He opens up the door, and as he does this wave of heat hits the both of you. As the town around you is on fire. What are you waiting for? Come on.
I think he
Begins
just-
walking.
I think he just stands there for a second. Wait.
What am I waiting on?
Do we need to work on these buttons? They feel like they're too low.
How much longer are you gonna run away from yourself before you realize what the fuck this is? Think with your brain, hostile. The town's on fire. I could be anywhere right now. What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
I know you're smart enough. I know it. If you thought, I thought for even a moment, I would pull in some trash off the street that couldn't hold his own against my training. I know you can do it. Now follow me. I got something to show you.
Okay.
As you walk outside, you hear the sounds of the flames crumbling away at the buildings without the sound of people around who experience the inferno. The emptiness of the town is the same as when you left it with your group in real life. Aramel walks with tall, broad shoulders through the open street as though nothing around him had changed. This used to be a good town, huh? I never liked it. Not even for a moment. But it kept me alive.
Got the job done.
Yeah. See that building over there? And he points to this almost completely caved in tavern at this point. It almost seems like the vents that are echoing around you right now are moving in fast motion. The flames much more dim now. The building's gray with soot. What happened? Did I fuck up?
No.
Oh. Did you? Okay, sorry. It points at this almost caved-in tower right there. That was where I got my first meal when I came in here. And I think that's where I took you in on our second, I don't know. I took you there at one point. I don't need you remembering things. And that one over there. He points to an even further off building that's almost, as you turn your vision away, the flames are completely gone around you from the town. This building is completely grayed over and destroyed. tattered away, like maybe weeks, months have passed since this tragedy has happened. That's where I got my whittling equipment. If it weren't for that shop, I could have died in that town and not known what kind of purpose I had. Lost my meaning for stasis, I guess. And see that forest off on the yonder over there? He points to now as you train your vision away one more time. The town's completely gone. It's just an empty field. Somewhere, some point in time, I found you there. And that gave me purpose once again. Now let me ask you one more time. Town's gone, Austell. I'm gone. But I trained your ass. And I trust you. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna find you.
Damn right you will. He begins to turn away. Start walking towards the empty field. You blink. He's over 30 feet away. Blink again, 50 feet. He's nearing the horizon. What do you do?
I think I try to follow him. I think I'm gonna chase after him.
You take a step forward here. And it feels as though you're walking through hot, humid air. You break out in a warm sweat. You hear the sound of cicadas echoing around you. And the area around slowly begins to fade. And then erupt into a field of dark green copper flame. And you hear the sound of glass smashing. I hate to be rude here, but I do believe. Hold on, we were trying. I wanted that transition to be better there, but.
No, you're good.
Maud, back on your phone. Sorry. You stand back in front of the individual here as he speaks to you on the other line. Yes, I do not believe I had a chance to introduce myself. I seem to be being rude. I did not know if we met at all during training, but that would be a good time for us to connect those areas. Hello, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Operator Flail. And I will be working with you from this day forward. I look forward to it. You're back on the other line. You hear this. You left only your thoughts. What do you do?
I say to him, I've been weeks now without an operator. Why now? Why are you calling me now?
Well, I tried to get a hold of you maybe a little earlier in the day. I'm sorry for my hastiness. I did, after all. As well to say this is one of my first days of taking the operator job. I've been on hiatus for a few, sadly. But I give you my utmost apologies.
I think you need to cut the crap and tell me what it is that you want with me.
I beg your pardon. This is a simple routine checkup call. I know it is late at night. I hope I have not said something to offend you, Officer Maud.
Look, are we done here for now? Is there anything else you need to ask me?
Make an intimidation check.
Got the dick.
Ugh, let me check my plus on that. I can't
Mom's
remember
fucking
exactly.
tired of this shit.
I was like, if you're gonna kill me, just kill me.
Yeah. Not as good as I wanted. This is an 11.
11.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be in the prairie side. You hear a small amount of silence coming from the other end here. I suppose so. I feel like I can only apologize. I was hoping our conversation would have ended with happier terms. But at the end of the day, your line is hooked to mine as well. If you have any questions about your field work, I am always available. And hopefully we can become good friends in the coming days.
I say to him, just keep in mind, my friends and I have been through a lot, and they're more clever than you think. And I hang up.
Hang on.
What was happening with Mob?
As you hang up the phone, look down at the device in front of you here, you notice that it was odd, the series of calls you've gotten from this before. This is a number that doesn't match the Legion numbers that were inside as like normal contacts before. It almost seems like a personal number you're being called by. Whether this individual is calling from like a personal phone off duty since it is late at night, or knows exactly if or is using the channels appropriate for an operator at all. It's hard to tell, especially now that the call's disconnected. But it is odd that you're not getting something from your normal 800 number, from the number you're used to getting so often. You sit back down. What do you do? No, you're in the front seat. It's the middle of the night.
Yeah, I guess. I guess I'll kind of like make the rounds and see how everybody's doing before I go to sleep.
As you creep up here, you remember that you were woken up from this phone call in the middle of the night. And so you don't know how long you were sleeping ahead of time before this event happened. As you get up, you creep up in your chair and you look out to the bus next to you and you see everybody but Hostel. Hostel is not in the vehicle here. You see everybody out in front of you. Just sound asleep. Maybe even the slightest look of grief's on their face, if not just from the day's toil and dealing with that oppression in their subconscious. And everybody's asleep.
I'm smiling from corn dogs.
even with all the static afterwards,
This
it's just still
before.
thinking about those corn dogs.
She hasn't got to the stat.
I haven't got to the bad part yet.
Still dreaming about corn dogs.
All
I
of a
just
sudden,
smell the.
all of a sudden, like a second,
Oh
your
my-
face goes from like contentness to like
Yeah.
I'll go look for Hostel.
Babies
Um,
have bad dreams in the
Because I at this point with everything going on, I'd be concerned that there's someone missing. I check on. I'm gonna go check the roof of the bus.
Okay.
The
You load
roof.
them onto the bus, give me a
The
perception check.
roof.
Sure.
Oh.
Oh, that is an 8.
8.
Yeah.
You know, the grass seems a little tall around this part.
It's taller than the roof.
You could no, it's taller than the hostel.
Yeah.
That is sitting and lying down somewhere in the prairie side.
I thought he was on the roof of the van.
No, he went out to the prairie and looked
Yeah.
at the
Oh.
button.
Oh,
Okay. I thought that was inside of his dream.
And it's also
Okay.
very dark out as well. You only have the moonlight to guide you. The outpost doesn't. That's parked outside of here. Doesn't really have a whole lot of industry about it to illuminate your surroundings. So you simply don't see the little bugger.
The little bugger.
And I will say, I'm not necessarily like, I wasn't like hiding anywhere. Like, I am out in the open.
I-
know,
yeah,
I know an 8's
But
a
you
pretty
still
low
rolled
roll.
bad.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I still didn't roll great. Okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll go back inside. And I will like try to gently shake Melody awake.
You
Wake up!
Like Shrek wakes up at the hour.
You begin descending into the van beckoning. Give me one more perception check.
13.
As you begin to descend back down and go towards Melody, you hear groaning coming from a couple seats next to you here. It's Indy, who is groaning in her sleep.
Indy always is She has a hangover.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I'll stop and I'll like go lean down next to Indy and I'll like kind of like gently shake her shoulder and be like, did you sneak in a little nightcap before?
You go
Mind
up
your
to her.
fucking
Yeah.
business.
As
She's like,
you begin to shake her hair, she doesn't immediately respond.
Oh shit.
It's kind of like shaking someone comatose.
Corpse.
Of
You
course
shake her
this
for a
would
couple
happen.
seconds here, but eventually her eyes open wide and they shine a deep copper green.
Holy shit!
Oh no!
You hear the sound of glass smashing. Indy.
What the fuck is happening?
The dream is extending into the physical
I'm
plane.
so
Either that or
Andrew, don't be bringing this astral sea shit up in here.
What are you talking about? There's nothing to do with that.
Sure.
Fuck you.
I was just when
Don't
you were
compare my world to his.
when you were doing CJ's thing and they were all just standing there. I was like, they're all gonna start screaming.
They didn't, okay.
now
I win.
Now I'm super confused if what Maud was experiencing was actually real.
We'll
I have a
find
feeling.
out.
I'm on the fence. I don't know.
Unclear.
Indy,
Mm-hmm.
you're being led through a large.
Lard.
You're being led through a large.
You're being let through, Lord.
Let me try to be serious. You're being led through a long, dark expanse, holding the hands of the only person you know in this current world, who has just recently introduced herself as Julia, being in a situation where you don't even recognize your own body. As you look down at your hands, your clothes, your feet, it's honestly not even human. It's
Well, I mean, she's not human.
an entity that has the humanoid shape, but other than that, very much features that resemble something otherworldly, distorted in ways. And you look up at Julia as she leads you down this expanse here, and her form begins to apparate into something that's much more visible. It's a figure which is once again humanoid as used, but gives off this, in skin tone, this light pink aura to it. The limbs, each arm, leg being separated into two strands that twist like a double helix pattern that connect at the hands and the feet at the end here. It's a very very otherworldly shape, like another beast trying to mimic a human. Underneath, like a normal torso, in the head of this figure as well, with hair that cascades down the back that almost seems to be made out of crystals or glass or whatnot, that still shimmers and moves as she moves, like it was normal hair and not something different. But she leads you down. She's breathing heavily, and you hear behind you the sounds of roaring and screeching and agony coming from the depths of the abyss behind you. And as you guys rush forward, it's like you hear from her, "I gotta make a quick confession as we run here. I don't actually know where I'm going.
Fuck!
I've never been here before.
Fuck!
In fact, this is the first time I think I've ever been able to move like this.
Fuck!
But I'm gonna keep going and you should follow me."
Okay.
Okay. The two of you rush forward here. Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
So chaotic.
7.
7. As you Rushford here, you're focused staying on Joria's back as you allow her to command the lead here with your hand as she goes forward. And you rely mostly on her ability to proceed and look forward, but as you walk forward, you see this white marbled expanse that only extends about maybe 5 meters in radius behind both of you before being shrouded once again in darkness as you run. It's like basically being in like a fog of war scenario here, where for some reason you literally can't see beyond this point, but as you guys charge, it continues onwards and onwards. Juria, with her natural 2, is simply running from the noise.
Shit.
As from behind you here, if you were to turn around, just almost seems like a green ocean is crashing way in the distance behind you.
Oh, that seems kind of cool.
It would seem cool if it was just crashing downwards, but it goes up like a biting jaw as well, from side to side, like swipes as well. Basically like a sideways typhoon that is crashing and gnawing like a beast towards you all, like a giant wall of torment
Okay.
coming towards everybody. You run and you run and you run. Your field of view simply decreasing as you go on, like the area is being snuffed out. This is being a very similar situation to your other dreams, where the feeling of strangulation from an unknown force slowly pulls the light from your eyes. And then eventually, BAM! The both of you crash into something in front of you and like blitzed off of it and fall to your ground. You stand up and it's a door. A simple white door that's standing in the middle of a black expanse. The waves are coming from behind you. You hear Jodia look up and say, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going inside. You can follow me. Please follow me. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And she swings the door open. And it's a whole different place. She jumps in with everything she has, trying to escape the chaos. Do you do the same?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You go in, and as you do, the door slams shut behind, and the cacophonous noise of whatever was following goes silent instantly. The two of you catch your breaths, whether you're breathing the air of the real world or not, still slightly unknown to the both of you.
Great.
What the hell is this? As you look up into the room that you stand in here, give me a history check. Do it with advantage too, because you recognize something about this space.
17.
17. You recognize this place because this is where you've spent most of your life. This is a place in which you've, for so long, tried desperately to escape. It's your bedroom. You see the adornments of items and ornaments that have been strung around to simulate a scenario in which you're not basically a bird trapped in a cage, to which guests within the Valerian pod estate would assume that you were living a hopeful life. But the atmosphere is different. Outside your window is darkness. The area around, even though it seems like the light is on, everything is a gray sepia. It's kind of an expanse in front of you here. But it's no doubt, it is Indy's room that you stand in front of. After she asked this question, what the hell is this place?
I think it's my bedroom.
This is your bedroom?
Well, my old bedroom.
Who the hell are you? She rushes over to the window and tries to fling it upwards. She pulls it upwards. It's almost like opening an airlock, and just the breeze shoots out of it, and she slams it really
Oh my
quick.
God.
And you hear the distorted roars come as she does it. She shuts it. It's like, I shouldn't have done that. That was horrible. As you look around as well, the two of you aren't alone in this room.
No.
There are 3 figures as well joining you in the room here. Off to where your bedside is, an individual that seems almost entirely translucent. A tall figure in like a battle style archer robe with a mask covering up over his nose, two hollowed eyes, where it is like a skull wearing adornments of a human, and a cape, a hood covering up his ears and the top of his head, making it unable for you to see any features of ears or hair. He sits on the bed with his arms crossed, staring at the ground. The entire opposite of the room, over where you keep your dressers, your stand mirror, whatnot. A couple feet off to your left, you see an individual that would seem to be human, if a human being resembled basically a stone tree.
What?
It is a stone tree that has kind of grown into the shape of a human with like the arms outstretched like this. And picture a tree like a bonsai tree with kind of like a Han Solo-esque frozen in carbonite figure kind of sitting out the top of it.
I dig it.
The face of this individual is much more human than the other one. It's the face of a woman as she stares off into the expanse of the room very sadly.
Is it mommy?
Full of this. I've never seen this person before.
Okay.
Very sadly and very full of despair and negativity and loss of hope.
Same dude.
And then you notice, you don't know how you missed it, sitting cross-legged next to the window where Strudia just flew up, is an old man in black garbs with this kind of thick, long wizard's beard, smiling to himself with his hands pressed together, sitting on the ground close to her. Ah, you found your way to the safety of our home, I see. And as he says this, Strudia jumps in surprise as she sees this person here that she swore wasn't there just a second ago. And then notices as she flings her head around all the different individuals in the room with you. Where? Oh God, who are you people? This is the old man sitting on the ground again. Not worry. I believe. Oh, you are Julia, correct? You know my name? Yes, we're long friends. Don't even ask such stupid questions. Everybody here is friends. This is the home of friends. Oh, it has been so long since I've talked to my own kind. Do make yourself at home. I believe we were all brought here for a reason, actually. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself to the group. He points to you and Julia here. It's like, whichever one wants to start. I'm here until the storm dies down. I'm not leaving anytime soon.
I'm Indy.
Indy. Oh, you still go by your human name. That's adorable. Oh, that's so sweet. But in all reality, what is your name?
It's Indy.
You don't... Oh dear, you don't even know yet. You're brand new. And he springs up here. And as he does, kind of his tattered robes kind of fall aside. You see the robe flutter open a bit, and it's completely empty underneath, like a floating head carrying these, and the hands covering the sleeves as well. This is not human. Same with the other individuals around, you included, Julia. Nobody here is normal. Oh, we have a brand new egg. Well, if that's the case, I suppose your level of introduction is over. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Kaz. I am he who embodies consequence. Enchanté to the both of you.
Oh, fuck.
You can call me either one. Consequence, Kaz. Kaz tends to be easier. What about you? He points over to Julia. I already know your name, but I don't think we've actually met before. You've been around for some time. I've heard great tales of you. I'm Julia. I believe that translates to pain, right?
Oh shit.
Oh.
Ah, pain. Pain and consequence. How very fitting for a room such as this. You'll see our other guests as well. You're not alone, by the way. You're not the only newbie here. But first, I will gesture over here. She points to the stone tree figure that's like seconds away from crying here. This is my dear Imogen. Or Stasis. She is a bit under the weather right now. She is going through a bit of a transition, so you may know her depravity. But I assure you in time, if we all become good friends, we could make quite a party out of our ensemble. The man on the couch, I have no idea who he is. Hasn't said a word since he came in here, which I think might have something to do with his name. Isn't that right? Silence. As he turns and says this to the translucent figure here, it kind of, its shoulders perk up for just a second, but continues looking down with its dark, hollowed out eyes at the ground. You fit your name perfectly. All that's left is you. What are you? Well, you have to have some importance. Only the important meet in the bedroom, after all.
I'm a living being. Isn't that important enough?
Tell me here. Every time I've shown up in this room, I've gotten to know each person that passes through, and nobody seems to know what this place signifies. Does this place mean anything to you?
Nope.
Make a deception check.
What? You're blowing my mind over here.
Nope.
I don't know.
9.
Oh no!
I'm rolling like Dante.
Well,
We all have been rolling like Dante tonight.
I don't know. I've been doing okay.
I've been.
you do realize I heard the two of you talking when you entered. This is your bedroom, is it not?
Well, then why did you ask?
I thought I'd give you the chance to be honest with your company. After all, we are guests in your homestead.
I guess that's true.
Well, if that's the case, then you have something to do with this all. That has something to do with your name, is it not?
Huh?
Follow me. Let's figure out just who you are.
Okay.
And the figure floats like a Dementor over to the mirror side that's close to where Stasis is, to where Emoden is. Don't be shy. We're going to take a glance at who you really are.
Okay.
You make your way over to the mirror here. And you stare. At first, it seems like the only thing in front of you is kind of just a black reflection, like looking through the mirror out to the outside world which you guys were in before. But right now, it's beginning to slowly open up into something different. Like the fog around you is beginning to pull forward to the point that you can see the room around you in the reflection. And then eventually, you see your face. But not your face. You see the face of Indy. The human. Not human. Sorry. The tiefling. I'm racist. What can I say? You stare back. Clearly doesn't match the form that you're in right now, but you stare back. And you look so sad. It's clearly not Indy of today's day, it's Indy of many years ago. Wearing a child's outfit that's clearly been picked out in order to be prepared for company.
Oh, baby.
As the fog clears more, you see two people standing next to you as well. The figures of Jameson Todd and Jameson Valerie. I don't know why I said their name.
Jameson, Todd.
Yep. No, two figures standing next to you. A hand on each of your shoulders here.
Freaking Mirror of Erised.
I was just thinking, except like worse.
So bad.
As they stare at you here. Back the most heinous smiles on their face as the hands that grip your shoulders become talons, fiercely sink in. Your tears begin rolling down Child Mindy's face. She begins shouting at the mirror, but you hear nothing back. It almost seems like one word, one request to you. Help.
I want to.
As this happens, a faint copper green light begins emanating from your massage. The figures holding your shoulders in the mirror erupt in a deep copper flame. They blast away around you. The room in the background begins to grow out of control like a loose jungle. And the figure of Indy, young Indy, morphs into the monstrous form that you are now. As you stare at yourself with these deep copper eyes, you hear the voice of Kaz next to you. Of course this would be your room because that is your name. You made this place for us. You are Sanctuary. As you wake up to the sound of glass smashing, a pair of deep green copper eyes from once your eyes open up are seen from outside of the van with a pair of completely transparent flapping wings propelling it off the ground here. It blasts through the windshield of the car, sending a spray of glass onto the back of Maud and the others as they are jolted awake. Hostile in the distance here, hearing the distress from the car and several outscreams from your cohorts appearing from this would spring you out of your sleep tomb and into the situation as well. All of a sudden, there is flickerings of green light smashing into the different windows, tearing into the upholstery with these see-through claws, wreaking havoc and sending shrills of echoing horror throughout the van here. I need everybody in this van here to give me a dexterity saving throw. You're good.
For once, it pays off to be a loner.
12.
11.
13.
Okay.
What did you get?
12.
Yep.
I'll just set that right there.
Is that a
Nat
nat
one.
one?
Oh no.
Maybe it's just like a 7 without a baseball cap.
You did baseballs.
God damn it.
Okay. As this entity is just streaming through the vehicle like a screeching banshee, blasting into everything in sight, sending shrills out. You find yourselves all blocking and moving into battle in this confined space, bringing protection to your extremities. Mistress being brought up near, like almost right in front where the creature blasts through the window here. Gets a hit of this creature straight to the freaking face here.
Oh my god.
Receiving, 10 points of slashing damage as basically a large gash through your neck occurs.
Did
as
we
this
get a
creature
long
slides
rest?
by. Yeah, I'd say this is a long
Oh,
rest. at this point.
fucking dope.
It just kind of cuts across it. You're leaving a stream of blood running down you here. Indy's eyes during this whole time as well glow this green, the same color as the beast. But aside from that, Cloudman! I am a Cloudman! And starts screaming as well, kill it! Kill it! As he pulls out his dagger and starts swinging wildly,
Oh my
trying to attack the
God.
creature. What does everybody do?
Holy shit.
I'm about to
Awesome.
draw my bow.
So is it
I'm
on
gonna take
top
out.
of the van? It's on top of the van holding it?
What? No, it's
creature?
small. It's about, sorry.
Oh,
If I can
okay.
describe it, it's about the size, it's about a foot long. It's really small. It's like a hawk.
Okay.
Also grabs the button and sprints towards.
No!
He
Mistress would
puts
like
it in his
to
pocket. I just want to
cast,
point out
Mind
that I
Sliver.
grabbed it.
Mistress will cast a Mind Sliver on it.
Mind sliver? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll try to hit it.
That's DC 15 intelligence save that it has to make.
Hey, nice.
Okay,
Yep.
sweet.
It's like I got a 20 intelligence for some reason.
No, it fails. And mistress like reacting from this attack.
That is 5 psychic damage, and it must subtract 1d4 from its next saving throw.
Nice.
Okay, 5 psychic damage. You kind of see it like blast with the psychic energy out of here and collide into one of the broken up glass windows as it is, and kind of scurry and panic as its transparent form just kind of batters against the upholstery almost right next to Cloudman here, and he's just like, and he's gonna try to stab it as well. Oh, he hits it, yeah, for sure. And does another 6 as he kind of like pierces one of its invisible wings to the upholstery, setting a hole straight through the chair with his dagger. And the creature here is just kind of fluttering in place, not moving, but sending out this echoing screech as it's happening, and it's not moving anymore.
Is like the top of the bus like open? Like, do we have like the thing?
There's
for
an
the
opening,
van,
yeah.
not
Yeah, yeah.
bus. Yeah, whatever.
The same thing.
Whatever we're in.
Just not an RV.
Buses are vans. No.
I want to try to use my mage hand to kind of like push it, like towards the outside.
You can grab it and throw it out.
I thought you said it wasn't moving. Yeah.
It's pinned to the cushion at this point.
Oh, he did get it. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you just hit.
I can smash it with my guitar.
Around this point, Hostile would be at the vehicle as well.
And I only said I grabbed my button. What? You said you grabbed it? No? I never said button.
Oh, you just need to move. I'll smash it with my guitar.
Oh, I'm good. I only said I grabbed my button just so you didn't like try to get me and say like, oh, you left it out there. I grabbed it and put it in my pocket.
Yeah, you brought it. I heard you say it earlier that you brought it.
So, can I see it where I'm coming in?
Are you like just coming into the van?
Well, I'm like running towards the van.
No, it would be inside the
It's
car.
inside the car. And I guess I don't know what it is. It was inside the car the whole
I
time.
haven't even seen it yet.
I'm gonna jump in and kind of like look around.
Put in Carol's cage!
No!
Little dinosaur in
Grab
Jurassic
Carol
Park
first.
that like puffs up its things and it's inside
Little
the car.
lizard.
Yeah, that's how I picture this little guy.
Everyone give me a perception check that's in the vehicle. You're not quite in there yet.
Ah.
9.
That's a.
10.
I'm gonna re-roll because it's like
11.
15.
Okay. As the chaos is happening here, especially in Maud, finally kind of calming down as the creatures are pinned down here, noticing just the horrible green eyes of Indy that is also in a panic here, just kind of breaching into action here, and same with Melody as well, as you see and try to take heed of the situation here and notice what the hell's going on. Indy's eyes match the same visage as this creature.
Indy?
Huh?
Are you feeling okay?
Am I feeling okay?
You feel great.
Yeah, I'm great.
Inside!
What?
10!
She feels bad. No,
I'm like, oh no.
It's such a panic situation here that you're gonna need a little bit more time to fully like.
Okay, I mean, I should know because I've looked at your eyes a lot.
A.
They
Dirty
look, they look different. You should.
Good different?
I mean, in like a different circumstance, yeah, they look pretty dope, but it seems like not a good thing. They're the same color as the weird flying thing.
Fuck.
I don't know if you like know anything about that. Do we remember our dreams?
Yeah, you would.
Also,
I mean,
don't-
it's the state of a dream would like the details are foggy because that's how dreams are.
yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I was asleep, like the last thing I remember in my dream was this crazy, like that crazy green color, which I mean maybe was just like this creature like flying towards my face, like woke me up, but I had like a crazy weird dream. That seems like a fucked up coincidence.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling we need to go to my bedroom. Not just us, but
Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Melody's blushing a lot. I've rolled like the last like 5 dice have been 8.
What a good plan you had to pick good dice.
I obviously changed my mind. They're all out. Why do you think we need to go to your bedroom?
it just
I
seems
mean, not
like
we.
it could be a good sanctuary. I don't know. I had a weird dream too.
So
So the creature is the creature incapacitated? at
It's
this
just
point?
kind of flapping wildly and screeching. Yeah, it's not moving though. It's
Hostile. We should put it in Carol's cage. You can put Carol in her ball. Or we can put that thing in the ball.
What's the point of keeping this thing?
Well, I don't know. It's
What's it
fucking
gonna
weird.
do for us?
It's
Our
weird.
eyes match. If we kill it, what if I die?
That's a really good point.
Then just let it go.
Andy, you feel blood streaming from your body.
Ah!
I'm joking.
Hustle was just like standing over it with his hatchet, just like, why would we keep this?
Exactly. I want to make stews out of this.
Listen, guys, we
It
don't know
attacked
what
you
the
guys.
fuck this
It
is.
is a creature, of course,
Dude.
Melody, ma'am.
Do a nature check and see.
Oh,
Can
do
I
a
do
kill
nature
check. How about that?
I guess.
For once, I am on the exact same page as Cloud.
Chrisman! Exactly.
I have super good animal handling.
I got a
Can I just
natural.
name it?
Yeah, I got a natural 20 for nature to see what the fuck it is.
Nature?
Yeah.
Natural 20.
I have no fucking idea what this
You
is.
know, this nothing.
Give me a
Doing
wink.
a nature check, nothing natural does this.
There's nothing natural about this.
Yeah.
I wish I could give you more, but Millie would not know what this
Yeah,
is.
that's
Can I
fine.
roll Arcana on it?
Well, Miss has been holding her hand up for a little bit.
Mr. Soulmutter, fuck this thing and cast Mind Sliver again.
No!
Do it.
That's
Yeah.
Remember to subtract the D4.
Natural 1.
It's a -3.
That'd be another 10 psychic damage.
Ooh, yeah, as you start attacking this creature more, it seems
God
like
damn it, you
the green
guys.
outlines that this creature has is fluttering seem to begin to vibrate and struggle to keep its form here as its cause begin to be more pain. It's looking like it's not doing great for at least your idea of it. You
As,
said you,
Put it in my backpack.
as this is happening, can I like watch Indy to see if anything changes with her since they have like the same color eyes?
as you make your eye, give me a perception as she rolls her animal handle with advantage.
God damn it. Oh, with advantage! It thinks yours a mother.
17.
19.
19. Andy looks forward and you swear you say something to it in your head as you like go up, but you don't. Nothing actually comes out of your mouth. Hostile, you do see the eyes flash bright as the creature calms down and begins breathing slowly in its seat and makes eye contact with you. And it stands here, no longer screaming, just kind of.
Can I pet it?
Yeah.
Annie.
It reacts like a normal, like a tamed bird would as it rolls its head around your hands.
Oh my
Nobody hurt this thing.
But its form is steadily like vibrating, like it's having a hard time
I-
keeping its outline steady.
I cast Cure Wounds on it.
You do?
Yeah.
Do it? It's still pierced, by the way, by one of its
What?
visible. One of its visible wings is still pierced into the ground here.
Okay, what the fuck is going on?
Do you have like a spirit?
11. Points of
11?
healing.
Sweet.
Oh my god!
That does undo almost every. Yep.
This is your ranger animal, isn't it?
It's my baby!
We almost killed it!
That would have been amazing.
Yeah, it would have been real fucking great to waste an hour and a half on this character's introduction. So you guys murder it! No, but that does undo all the damage that Mistress does to it psychically, and its
Holy shit.
form begins to stabilize.
It's a little slow to
As it kind of like pecks over at its wing where this knife is. And Clement's like, you like that, do not you flying bird rat.
I'm gonna pull out the knife.
No, do not touch him, indie man, it is dangerous.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Hey,
I will pull it
you
down.
Thank you.
just know if he touches Carol, I'm killing that bitch.
You're killing Carol?
No, if this
I
bird-
mean, you gotta do what you gotta
Hey,
do.
if the
Hustle.
bird touched Carol, I'm killing you, Carol.
Carol, how fucking dare you cheat on me, you son of a bitch?
Carol is tainted.
I'm talking about Carol's team.
Oh, Carol.
Alright. The creature's free and it kind of trembles here very frighteningly, but as you hold out, it doesn't even fly normally. Almost kind of like its form kind of reapparates into like a spiritual wisp as it travels up and
Oh, that's dope
maintains
as
itself
fuck.
onto your hand. And it's like a tiny little barn owl.
I love it.
And it
I don't know why I was picturing it as a bat.
shakes
I was
here.
too.
Okay.
It
I
shakes
think it
here
was the
on
green
your
eyes.
I was picking
on your
this
perch,
ass.
just
Well, that
staring
can
back
still
at
be
you with the same radiance in the eyes.
I look at it and I say, "Did this thing bring you a letter telling
I
you
had
about
that
your
dr-
first day of wizard school?"
I had this dream that
What an
Orgel was
old
giving me a
reference.
full body massage, and now this is happening.
Body massage.
What is
What the
happening?
fuck, Cloud Man?
I don't know why this is a dream. I could not control it.
I don't believe you.
Well, okay. He's gonna roll deception against you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I said deception. Like I can just reveal it as a lie.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, that's not what I'm dreaming about. Cloudman can't lie to save himself.
Cloud Man, it's okay to be gay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Isn't that like how people talk to their gods?
No, that's prey.
Oh.
Jesus.
Well, I will be sure to talk to my god in the morning. Cloudman kind of grasps at his not there chest as this. Oh my goodness. Well, what do we do with it? Is it food?
I mean, it seems to have taken a liking to Indy, so I think we just kind of let it hang out with
Like
us.
spray it on you.
Your eyes are so crazy. How are you doing this? No, do not try that. Please.
Clown Man, I think she can shoot rays out of her eyes now, so don't piss her off.
I'm not the only
Don't
one
piss
that
her
thinks
off,
so.
Cloud Man.
I have been sitting and oh god, I attacked the bird. Oh, we're
She's gonna
enemies.
shoot you with her eye death
Oh,
rays.
Lord.
My God.
It's fine. I've made the penance in the real life. I will enjoy a blissful heaven. Please don't kill me.
I won't kill you, Cloud.
So you left with that. The creature sits perched with Indy.
It's on my
The rest of you, rudely awoken from your cutaways, Maud reeling with the situation at hand. What do you guys do?
So do we have a broken window in here now?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I look
The
around.
windshield is
Can we
completely
heal?
scattered around.
Can we cure wounds on our van?
You can't.
No, we'd have to mend it and take a
You
lot
can try
of mending
though.
spells.
Waste a spell slot.
Maud looks around.
Tuesday.
Maud looks around and goes, "Oh no, the car. It was so great before."
This goddamn car is gonna. We're gonna.
I mean,
not
is it
get-
gonna make it to the next town?
We're not gonna get our deposit back. This is a problem.
Hey, it's
Did
fine.
we ever
We,
plan on taking it back?
No, we're not.
You lost your deposit when you killed those kobolds.
Correction, we're not gonna
Yeah.
get Fuzzy's deposit back.
Ooh.
yeah. What
I
up?
mean,
Andrew, need to look at the message I sent you.
I saw it.
There's no response. Ah! Okay. it's
So
fine.
so Indy, what's this? You gotta. What are you gonna name this little guy?
This is Sanctuary.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh.
My bird.
All right.
That's a really
That's
great
a
name.
that's an interest. Where'd you come up with that?
My brain.
I didn't know what
Well-
to say it, Maud, but that was a young twist.
Yeah, she's really creative, Maud.
I just mean names
I
usually
want to
have
scratch
meaning
its
behind
little
them.
chin.
You can scratch its chin.
Does it like me?
Little beak chin.
It kind of. Well, do an animal handling. It doesn't
Okay.
seem very familiar with you. You did try to smash it with a guitar.
You can
Ooh.
scratch
Well,
its
no, I
chin.
didn't
Oh, you take it back.
because
Okay.
because you never let me roll for it, so I was just holding it.
Okay.
If you scratch its chin, you roll 1d10 slashing damage.
Cuts your hand.
Okay. 12.
It looks at Indy for approval.
I mean, she did say yes whenever I. Oh, damn! It's so cute.
And then it just kind of nuzzles its little beak against your drum. And this creature is like only describable, at least from where it is right now, as just an outline of an owl. It's completely see-through.
Oh.
Can we feel it when I
You
scratch
can,
it?
when you touch it, the creature reacts, but you feel nothing.
This is so weird.
And then,
It's a ghost.
as you continue to do this, Indy's eyes fade out of the green, and the creature becomes solid. And you can feel it.
Interesting.
It nuzzles up to you.
Okay, I'm almost
Slightly
terrified.
battered little barn owl.
Oh.
Hostel,
My little baby.
Hostel goes and gets Carol and holds it up to him and is like, Don't you touch this fucking hamster, you son of a bitch.
Andy, this will fall under your Beast of the Sky feature, but I will send you some stuff. There are a couple homebrews for this.
Okay.
I'll help you with that.
I just like hold it close. I'm like, Carol, this is sanctuary. You be nice too.
Oh,
I
he's
just, like,
scared
The
of
bird's
it.
sticking in.
Sanctuary, don't you eat my hamster. I'll kick your ass.
This is like a spectral bird. I'm assuming it doesn't need to eat.
And it screeches.
Hey.
It hasn't looked at you. It hasn't taken its eyes off of Carol.
Hey,
Ah.
hey, look at me. Look at me.
Like an analyze.
I am the beast
I
monster
always
now.
picture Carol as a guinea pig, not a hamster. I don't,
Oh, tiny.
I don't know why.
Carol's
The
like-
creature didn't even notice you.
I like
There's
move
only
Carol
one,
in front
two
of my
things in
face.
this world right now: him and the food.
I move Carol in front of my face. I gave you that 11 points of healing. I'll take it right back and touch Carol.
Also, get the fuck away from my bird.
Make sure he doesn't eat Carol and we'll be good.
Make sure Carol doesn't eat him.
Carol, don't eat him, alright?
Yeah, let's be honest. Everything in this world is semi-carnivorous.
Thank you. Taking notes.
Okay.
And I put him back in the cage.
Picture Carol as a dwarf hamster.
She sits.
Like the
Carol
tiniest-
sits against the
yeah.
corner, going. He sits in a puddle of green water that's there for some reason.
Cloudman, did you pee in here
That is
again?
from yesterday. I
Ah,
am
man.
not. Just because you do not clean your pool
You
does
son
not
of a
make.
bitch.
I did not do it.
I'll kick your
I
ass.
literally did not do it. I've been peeing in the bushes.
Okay, good.
Why do you pee so much? Are you okay?
Do you want me to pee a normal amount 18 times a day like everybody else?
Jesus Christ!
What
Yeah,
is normal?
that-
I
that
have
tracks.
I have 3 bladders like everybody else does.
Huh.
3 bladders?
Yes. Is that not normal?
No.
Well, oops.
We all have 4.
That sounds terrible.
I don't even have a bladder.
Imagine how much. Oh no, she pees out of her poop.
I'm mortified.
Anyway,
It's like a bird.
Oh
reaching this small part of understanding here. If anyone needs to take a break right now, this would
I
be
have
the
to
point.
I
Yeah.
would also like to pee.
And I'm gonna run to my car and grab my phone charger.
Okay.
Why does it keep?
I am old woman.
I am elderly. That is your name, like Beverly.
No, I'm taking the whole thing with me.
Goodbye.
Anybody need anything from the kitchen?
I'm okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Do you have any shot glasses up there? I have Rumple Mints to taste.
Oh my god.
Rumple Mints.
Andrew.
Rumple. What?
It's a real shame you probably aren't gonna be able to see my face on that recording.
I did. I saw it. I saw it when I said consequence.
Ah!
Rumples.
Ah!
Rumples.
Ah!
I give you so much, and I finally receive something in return.
Ah!
I have a question for you when you get back.
Okay, I have to pee, and
You
then
want
I.
shots?
So
I'll do a shot.
take your
of
time.
You don't look happy at
I'll
all.
do-
Well,
I'll
If you
take
bring-
one for the team.
If you bring out Rumplemints, I will take a shot of Rumplemints.
I'll give you a sick high five if nobody takes a shot at Rumplemints.
I guess I'm missing out on my high five then.
I'll
This
take-
is depressing.
I'll give you a healthy high five.
Hey.
I thought about going in a certain direction with Mon's phone call, and I'm glad I didn't, considering that it was just a dream.
Or are you gonna?
I was
try
gonna
to
do.
seduce
I
the
was
guy?
no. I was. I was gonna go something first. I was gonna go for something a little more significant, and then I didn't.
For what?
I was saying I was glad. I'll tell you in detail later because I don't want spoilers for everyone else. But I was gonna go for. I was thinking about going for something a little more specific, or like significant, with the conversation with.
I thought that was
Lyle.
gonna go on so much longer. I was like, oh, he's hanging up. Okay.
Yay! Is it live?
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm
You dropped
dropped my laptop. I dropped it gently though. Oh hey, the entire screen's broken.
Oh!
Oh, look at that. Everything's broken.
We're all dead.
Fuck! They're all dead. Yeah, you stupid idiot. Fuck, we're all dead.
Everybody, get the fuck out! God
Stupid
damn it,
idiot, stupid idiot.
God, fuck, we're all dead!
My God, did that
Damn
smell
it,
good?
Leroy.
I don't just cooking again.
We're not quoting that, but we're quoting something from like the same era of like
Ron,
the
you
internet.
told me I was.
Okay, question for you guys.
Yeah.
For the Leroy Jenkins video.
Yeah.
At the end, Leroy,
Refried chicken.
does he say, at least I have chicken, or at least I'm not chicken?
I always heard refried chicken.
I think he says at least I always thought he said at least I have chicken.
I
thought
heard
it
at least
was
I
at
ain't
least
chicken.
I'm
I
not.
think that makes more sense.
That's what I always thought. I had this argument with some students, like, one of the last weeks of school. They were like, no, he said, at least I'm not chicken. I'm like, I think it's so much funnier for him to say, at least I have chicken.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody say
Listen,
think
I
that
don't
he
know
says
why
at least
all
I'm
those
not chicken.
What is the
Ran-
original Leroy Jenkins thing? Is that in
Wow.
Adventure Quest?
It's
or
wow.
It's in WoW.
It's wow.
Wow. Okay.
Like, it's so dumb on their end because they could have just let him die and then waited
Yeah.
for the event to reset. I'm like, why did you all go kill yourselves?
I just remember having that discussion. I'm like, I don't care what it says. I'm
This
believing
is
that he
what
says,
happened.
at least I have chicken, because that's so much funnier than
Which
at
one do you
least
want?
I'm not chicken.
Oh, I don't care. Is there a difference?
One's opaque.
I'll take this one. Take that one. All right.
Rumple
Mints. Rumple mints. Ah!
Delicious.
It has 18
Oh.
million views.
That did not hit me in a good way.
I know, right?
You want Rumple Mints? Can you watch it with captions?
Not even kind of.
Wow.
What did you
That ruined my life last
So-
time.
You didn't have any.
Did you? It's not last time I was here. Last time I
I always
had
think
it.
I'm prepared for Rumple mints. No, I'm not.
Which would closer?
I know, right?
Oh gosh.
You did
Yeah, he
Jason?
definitely has
correspond
at
to the
least
size
I
of
have
the waist
chicken.
of
But I
the
do also
vehicle.
get some water.
Would that be
Okay.
the waist size here? Or
I
the
had
hip
this
size?
argument with some
So
friends at
your
one point.
waist is here. Hip is here. And that usually encompasses also like the
Leroy
middle
Jenkins
of your
video
ass.
At the
Okay.
end.
Okay.
I've always thought he said, at least I have chicken. Some people have heard, at least I'm not chicken.
Granted, like
But I just listened to it. He definitely says, at least I have chicken.
penalized individuals, the
I'm
waist
amused by
tends
that
to
already.
be
There's all the titty tags.
rather than like.
I've
Yeah,
seen the
because
titty tags.
the
I don't know where they are.
When I was
They're
in
normally pretty
Oh
social.
yeah, when you're looking at sizes.
because your hip doesn't that go around your
hip is like
your butt too.
it's like
Hip is your widest part. Waist is your skinniest
yeah.
part.
Okay.
Waist is like
Yeah, and so usually when I
So
measure
this
my
is
waist,
my tip.
yeah, usually when I measure my waist, I measure here
yeah. It's like
because I want to make sure my butt can fit in the pants.
if you can feel like your underwear line. That's what I always consider my waist.
Because
It's
this
right
is
here,
the
where my
product.
underwear
This is
is.
my
Yeah,
underwear
it's a
line, right?
shape
Oh
of
yeah.
it. So
Like they're down?
Yeah, I would just get
Or
a tape
up?
measure
I'm confused.
and
Which one is it?
but like not like a
Because
Dante.
hard tape measure
A
like a,
cloth one.
like
the
a
world may never know.
I'm waiting for
Close.
you.
which I don't have here.
I had a cell phone at one point.
Get up your butt.
Oh. You want my cell phone? Fair.
I have pockets again.
Fair. We found a boat we might buy. After Minnesota, we were like, we need a boat.
Is it a John boat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like,
That-
no, we're buying
That
it
makes
now.
so much that.
Oh yeah.
Who here has a freaking oxygen tank? Was it you?
You didn't hear that earlier?
It's his little fidget.
Coronavirus.
Sometimes I'll just be laying in bed, like on the verge of falling asleep, and then I just hear.
You have a virtual. Oh, I thought it was an app on your phone. I didn't
No.
see from my angle. I thought you were just spinning something on the phone. It was. Oh yeah, that's better.
It's a pop socket that's also a fidget spinner.
Oh man, you can't even do any sick tricks with that one. How are you supposed to
Sick
get?
tricks.
How are you supposed to wet the floor for your mopping?
What?
When you spin the fidget spinner, it makes the ladies so wet that you can mop your floor properly. I thought that was pretty good.
No.
I understood it, but I hated it.
I call that a recovery in my book.
Baseline.
The
Well,
Dark Souls
I'm taking
text
applications
recovery.
for a new husband,
Or why? You can have mine.
a
Yay,
spouse.
sure. Yeah. Oh, you just double up, fucker. Alright, let's see what we get. Hello. My name is Mod, and I would like to share with you my weird
Tell me why I'm on
backstory.
airplane mode. Hello.
Hello.
My name is Indy,
My name is
and I
Elsa.
now have a pet.
One of our
Hello.
students
Hi.
at
My
the
name is
National
Russell.
Forensics Tournament had his DI judged by Matt Stone.
Well, did you find out if
What?
it was the Matt Stone?
I did not.
That's crazy.
Oh,
So
look
I
at
can
this.
only
I don't know why
assume.
Matt Stone would do that though. That seems odd.
Well, he was probably a forensics kid.
He's probably also high at the time.
Or Bond.
Tell me why.
Who's that?
He gave our student the 7 in the round.
With what shots?
I'm not gonna do a shot. You can do one if you want.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
Why'd you bring it then? Oh, you're mixing it. Okay. never mind.
Was it Dante
Is that just
won the fifth
whiskey?
competition?
No, Fulton did.
Fulton did.
Mine is
Okay.
the opposite of
We
whiskey.
So-
need to get him some liquor.
Pretty
The
much.
3 of us are just going to go in on a bottle of Jameson for him.
Let's
Okay.
get just a little like shooter of Jameson. Just
Just a little-
we all split that.
If we all split that, I mean we're all splitting this. Everybody put a little.
We never specified the size of the bottle.
And we never specified if you'd get me.
we said we would go in together. We met. We were all gonna take a drink of it.
You said we were going in together. I was going in.
We're so dumb.
Anyway, welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
How was your poop?
I didn't.
Refreshing.
I did poop right here.
Oh.
I
Very
did that
discreet, I
during
don't smell
Indy's
it at all,
scene.
hardly.
Amazing.
I cut a little
Ah.
hole in this futon and put like a little plastic bag.
Left to
Think
now
they
that the
would
environment is
pull
calmed
a
down
kitty
around
dinner.
you here. What do you guys do?
Maud would like to check his phone just in case and look at the call history.
Check
Stood
your
on
call
the
history.
road.
You have 3 phone calls from recently, and they're all from the same number. 2 from earlier in the day, back when you were inside of the static field, and 1 from just a few minutes ago. And they're all the same number, of course.
Great.
None of them being the Legion phone number, but nonetheless the same phone number.
Okay.
That was not a dream.
Huh.
Okay.
So Maud doesn't have any reason to suspect that anybody else would have a fucking super weird dream.
Well, I said I had a weird dream.
Well, yeah, you
the
did,
ended
but,
in
but
green.
like other than that, yeah.
Okay, question: is our van drivable or is it obliterated?
Well, I mean, we just broke the windshield. I mean, it's gonna
Someone
not
wants
gonna
to
be.
check. Someone wants to check here.
How would it?
I mean, at this point, we've got a desert to cross, and we're not going to be able to take the van. So
This sounds like the Bible. Let's go.
kind of. It does sound very vaguely biblical.
Yes, the Bible. I have one right here.
Yeah?
This is my journal.
Yeah,
Get
that's.
it because they were worshiping it.
I know that worked out so great for you. You almost died.
I did. I survived.
Yeah.
We didn't even ask them what they were going to do with me.
No, we said we're
we-
pretty sure they're gonna kill you, and you said, yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, okay, well that was just speculation. They could have been making a party cake.
No, they told us that they literally.
Do you wanna
said
go
they were
back and
going to
find
crucify
out?
you.
I don't- bitch.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
but
that's what I fucking
appreciate-
thought.
I appreciate your opinions.
Penance.
I apologize for what I am about to send to Discord.
Oh boy, I'm ready.
I hate you so much.
What? What's so funny?
I hate you so very much.
Are you laughing at Mike for what she said?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Deleting it at right as it's posted. That's the power I have. It's really nice. Anyway,
Oh my god.
But I'm.
with
Okay, so how do we check if it's drivable?
Turn it
so
on.
I give you just a straight up intelligence check. Whoever wants to check.
Right, I'm not very smart.
I'll do it.
Velasco
We all
has never
try.
driven a day in his life with his tiny little legs.
14.
Of course.
Going up to it.
15.
Shit.
The extent of the damage from the owl sprites didn't necessarily damage anything more than the aesthetics of it, and I guess the windshield. The car starts up fine,
Cool.
We're good to go.
but then again, you're right outside the outpost.
Right, yeah, we're not really going anywhere.
From there,
I don't know what to
it's still the middle of the night, by the way, for everyone.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah, but we did get a long rest, so let's drive.
Well, I kind of wasted a spell slot.
A spell slot. Okay, well you can sleep while Maud drives.
Well, I mean, we're right here at this outpost. We don't really. I mean, where do you want it to go?
Like, well, can we? Like, is there someone there that we can, like, rent whatever we're renting?
Give me an investigation or either investigation or history, whichever one you want.
Ooh, I'll do history.
I'm gonna test your memory here.
11.
Your history's so high.
I know. I rolled a 4.
I know
God
you
damn
did.
it.
I know you did. That's why. You remember there being a couple pieces to this outpost here. There was a corral of animals that were being herded up that would possibly had a play in leading people over the desert. There was a series of ATVs that have been that are kind of manned by a specific individual trailing along a wagon and whatnot. There's only 2 of these here, and then there's an outpost that maybe consists of a couple huts and a specific kind of shop that deals with selling and dealing with the pricing of escort across the lanes. The little outpost also consists of a big town that says Western Strip across. That's it.
But I like don't know if there
aside
are
from
people
that,
there.
No
Working.
lights are on in any of them. You can assume everybody here is sleeping right now.
So I'm gonna guess that we probably, like, even if we all feel good to go, I don't think it's gonna do much good for us to go right now.
Okay. Well,
Should we sit around and sing Kumbaya and play cards, or?
I'm
Well-
still tired. I don't know what you guys think.
I wanna, if we're gonna be here for a while, I wanna go outside and work on my tuning fork.
It did sound like a couple of you talked about having some weird dreams,
Yeah.
and I also had one, so I can only assume that most of us did. I don't know if we need to, like, discuss that at all.
Yeah, let's
or-
make like a fire outside and then sit around and we can talk about our dreams.
That sounds lovely.
Yes, you're right. I'm certainly not tired anymore. I will join, I guess.
Well, we already
Well,
know
you
about
can-
your dream, Cloud Man. It
I
was
know.
a sex fantasy about
Orgel was
Orgel.
good with his thumbs. You can mind your
Orgel.
business.
God.
Why that sound?
That was Sanctuary, actually. Just
Good boy.
Sanctuary is a very sexual creature.
God.
he does this with his neck.
Guys, I have an idea. Call me crazy.
I
But-
thought you were
and he
Christmas.
runs over and grabs Carol and is like, eh.
Is it still a furry if it's a hawk or an owl?
Do you actually bring Carol that close to?
No.
Is it
I
because
just bring him
scale?
kind of close, like, trying to introduce them.
Interspecies
Then
romance
you
here.
keep it
We're gonna have some sort of weird hamster owl creation
we're
after
not.
this. Is it gonna be a hamster with, like, owl wings, or is it gonna be an owl that just doesn't have wings and is furry? We're gonna have to find
Or
out.
is it a hamster that can turn its head all the way around?
Oh my god.
That's the best option.
Please.
They can't actually turn them all the way around.
Oh shit.
Just like most of the way, and then most of the way.
You just
Yeah,
got
Caleb,
fucking
go back to
schooled.
that.
Also, their eyes are
Geo.
tubular instead of
Buy
round. I know,
yourself
I did a whole speech.
Buy yourself a zoo book.
This is Melody. She's never been to
Clearly
a
you
zoo.
never had.
If you buy enough of them, you can even get the elephant edition.
Clearly
my
you never had
God.
Fun House.
Or an avian.
Flashback.
I like feathery.
I was
Anyway,
one of
anyway.
those.
Okay.
I'll go down with the bus.
Let us settle for fires on the campsite. I will
Just
deal with
Google
such
search.
intrigues.
Let's do it.
Alright.
Going outside, whoever wants to set a fire, roll a survival check.
I just shoot a
Oh.
firebolt at some wood.
Oh my
Never
god.
mind. Someone put some logs down and they kept in the reserve to try. It's really just a piece of the tire that's there.
Oh no.
Some gasoline from the fuel tank. This car, they ain't gonna need it.
That's a
You sh-
5.
And then, well, he also shot a firebolt at it. That would help set it up pretty good. Do that, and so you have a nice little a temporary fire spot that you have, and it's a nice little prairie side outside of this outpost that you guys would be able to camp at, if you so choose to. Jesus.
I started singing "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac.
Now there you go again. Right, so do we just sleep outside? I am all down for such issues, but this is up for you. This is up for you.
So I wanna just kind of give you guys some full disclosure here. Some of you know, because I don't think I've ever talked in character about my Legion history or anything, right?
I think with me you did.
Yeah, just with you.
No, this is brand new information.
I was never part of the Legion. I got trained and ascended by Airmill, who was the man's house that we went to. And as you guys can assume, that's pretty illegal for someone to do. And so when we went to his house and he was taken, I took that really hard. I blamed myself for that happening because in my head that was basically directly my fault for causing him to kind of be easier found, and I left his place in a hurry one night because some Legionnaires came, and I very specifically remember them asking about that kind of stuff. And so my dream was
Exit out of it.
my dream was him kind of showing me around, and it turned into a talk about what happened, and I basically just run through the whole thing.
We're running through the events of
And
how
so
of how the dream splayed into reality, with Aramil discussing the events while standing in the burning and aging town, and Hostel's actions on moving forward from there. These thoughts are conveyed to the group.
And so, as you guys know, I've been kind of in a dark place. I've been blaming myself for a lot of things.
Yeah, you seem to harbor a lot of guilt.
But I think
Melody, you can't just tell somebody that they harbor a lot of guilt.
What?
Yes, you bitch.
Love me.
I'm sorry.
I think now's the time for me to quit moping around and start taking action.
Yeah, we've all been thinking that.
I mean, I did say that too.
Everyone's just
Great.
dunking on Hostel.
Andrew, I have a question.
He clicks the button and his head explodes.
No, or if one of our
Straight
heads
out of the
explodes.
boys.
No,
Right.
Carol explodes. Andrew, I have a question.
I'm glad.
Oh.
So I'm sorry. Was I ever aware of an actual fire happening in Pelgrass or a town that I lived in? Like what happened in the dream? Okay.
As far as you're aware, Pelgrass is the biggest fire you've experienced. Pelgrass was at the apartments that you guys.
Okay. I just wanted to know that. So keep going.
So, yeah, I just kind of figured it was time to come clean. You guys are, 2nd through 8th of people that I've actually told this to before. Whatever it is, I don't know.
There's a lot of numbers there.
Actually, that's yeah.
And so, yeah, I wanted to be clear with you guys, because I think I may be putting us in some danger.
I'm sorry you've been harboring that. I'm glad you feel like you can be open with us.
You know, I spent a lot of time getting burned by people, so it takes a lot for me to trust people. I know that sounds super cliche
Moody,
and dumb,
dark,
but
Edgy.
you know,
edgy, yeah.
I've been burned by way too many people, so
I'm wondering if Lua's connection with us, potentially was to contribute to this because I also, in my dream, I was with someone from my past and there was also fire. And the fire that I saw wasn't something that I'd actually ever experienced. And so it almost makes me wonder if I was tapping into something that you were seeing. Potentially.
Did everyone else's dream have some form of fire in it?
Well, I was burning up the entire time as Orchel touched
God
me.
damn it.
No.
Not
Not fire
literally.
per
I was
se.
okay.
I think I was in another plane and I burned up, but there weren't flames. Just Dr. Quantra. Only Quantra.
Mhm.
Huh?
Only Quantra.
The doctor. Okay.
That was the guy that we met, right? When we got you.
Yeah. They got the robot.
So many names.
It's a universe. More than one people live in it.
What?
That was
I'm
Ember
sorry.
talking. Okay.
Imagine a campaign with just one guy.
It's
just
pretty
us and
glorious.
Codman.
And we're at the
And
bar.
glorious.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, glorious! Can you cook up something there? Yeah, man.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
Hey,
Just
I
trying to
think
talk
I'm
in
gonna start being
character about
busy
it.
Sunday nights, so I'm gonna have
You
to-
show up at the plot bar and Glorious is there with a bikini on. Hey, everyone!
Oh my god. It's only a
Anyway.
matter of time.
You gotta start with something.
Right.
Anyway, sorry for interrupting you there, mistress. So, you were discussing, I assume you conveyed the events of the experimentations, the odd
Yes.
extraplanar events that were happening to you, the lack of pain, and an overall kind of omniscient feeling that he gave off towards you during this.
Yikes.
Well, I know where I will not be spending my free weekends. I also have most days free. My weekends are not the only day.
I'm free all the time.
It is an issue. And what about you, Modman? What is your dreams?
They weren't dreams so much as just memories, I guess.
Really? Was it like somebody explode in yours?
No,
Oh.
there was no fire, no anything out of the ordinary. It was just a memory.
What is your memory about?
Well, I told you about my friend who got into some trouble with the Legion. It was just the last conversation that I had with her. That's all that I have.
Well, maybe when we are done with our chores, we can do something about that. We will not leave any stones not misthrown. Oh no, I've messed up. If we could do with, like, cleansing the fires of not, please, let me help you.
It's all you need. It's all you need to say. You don't need all the metaphor. You can just say you want to help.
I do not want to help, I will help.
Appreciate that. I mean, this is my, I guess, my journey, and I don't want anybody else to get wrapped up in it if it means anybody's going to get hurt. But
Well, you spend your time on us, we spend our time on you. That is a part of a family, is that we clean after each other's boo-boos.
Is
So,
that it?
is that the word?
I mean, one of us has already been hurt and we're still moving.
it's true.
I think we're gonna be with you for a while, Mom.
I appreciate it.
That is not true. Fisty Man is still here with us. She is only a lot stronger, I feel, than she ever was in real life.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if anything happens to us, me, more than me, all of us, she will look after us. I believe so. Are you okay, Emberman? Is there something for you to discuss as well? Well, it's okay.
Undertale, Scott. You're fine.
Melody Man, is there any significant? Oh, you talked about the fires for your.
Yeah.
Pelgrass is flammable for sure.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yes. Any places like that?
It is true, I'll just say.
More or less flammable than swarthy grass.
Indie Man, did you have a fire dream as well?
It wasn't really fire. I think I was in the afterlife.
Oh.
That's what it seemed like to me.
I mean, what did you see?
My bedroom.
Oh my god, that's so edgy.
That is like, oh, you had like little dollies around that bed. Oh, that's,
I mean, maybe if
Well, yeah.
I like kind of turn towards Melody and it's like that would be your afterlife if you died and go.
Hey.
oh, it's funny because those two want to bang.
Oh my god. Okay. Ayo.
That was just a Melody.
No, but there were people there who like called themselves like pain and consequence, and it felt very four horsemen or five, however many horsemen there are in the afterlife, and then they told me that I was sanctuary, so I named my bird that.
Oh.
But then I looked in this mirror and I saw me as like a young me, and my parents were there, and it was shitty. And then I woke up to sanctuary being a hooligan, so. It felt very afterlife-y, but I don't know. It could have just been another plane, but like just the fact that people called themselves pain and consequence and silence and
Ooh.
I don't remember the other one.
The other name would have been the tree would have been Stasis.
Stasis.
Yes, mistress.
Would any of these names strike Mistress as Legion members?
You remember? Roll a history check real quick here.
Okay, I must check my thingamajigger. It's a 26.
Oh shit.
Wow.
I will send you something.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, it's our campaign's equivalent of the Matt Mercer whisper.
I mean,
My
honestly,
ears so warm.
unless you want me to just say it out loud, I can.
No,
Whisper.
I feel like
no, I feel privilege.
All this time in my ear.
Check out our store online. Get our merchandise.
If you guys want to talk amongst yourselves.
What would our merchandise be? Just a bunch
Oh.
of dumb shit.
Probably.
Just
a
a
brick
button.
A
wall.
button, a nut button.
Yeah, a button. Oh my god.
Except someone dies every time you click it. It's really horrible.
When Andrew said that, like,
Yeah.
hostile just
I
running
literally
with the button,
cannot
I
get
imagined,
my
like, Brick
computer
holding
off
the
of-
grenade in the fight.
Airplane mode.
Did you restart it?
Yeah, like 3 times.
Did you click the little airplane?
Yes. That was my first option.
You know,
Did you?
it's so weird. Like my phone has my group message with my mom and Dante muted. Like I don't get notifications for it, and I keep unmuting it, and it just remutes it.
Weird.
Some type.
Wow, it's weird. That doesn't happen on my Android.
Yeah, but I literally like
Go
I,
to hell.
So okay, see, look. It's airplane mode is turned on. I
So turn it
go.
off.
Hold on, I can't do it when I'm looking at it. Like, what?
Did you slide it? Grab
Should
it
just
and
have to
slide
click
like
it.
a switch.
On Windows, you just have to press the button.
You just have to hold it. See how it. No, you slide it and then just hold it, and then it's off.
Dante! It's not
You just have to
working.
sit there and hold it forever.
And then I'll go and I'll turn on Wi-Fi, and it'll turn on for like a second, and then it'll be off again.
Maybe restart the computer.
Try-
I did like 4
Oh, you
times.
did, okay.
Yeah.
Try sliding it.
Do you have any updates
Shut
or
up, Dante.
anything?
Yeah, it just did some updates.
Maybe you should have a computer that's not like 50 years old.
But it's on Windows 10. It should be working. And other people were saying that they have this problem, and none of the options that they have is like.
Hmm.
Did you try punching it?
No.
Sometimes that works for me. If you get like really annoyed with something and you just like punch it.
Kind of like button or something.
Just throw it.
Maybe try watching a bunch of porn on it. That would fix it.
I
Yeah.
can't because I can't connect to the internet.
Oh damn.
Get some porn on.
Trust me, that was my first thought.
Get some porn on a flash drive and then watch
Try
it.
to download it.
Yeah. Who downloads them? Just take some valuable SD card space.
Okay, now try it.
What did you just stick out of it?
It's just a memory
Yeah.
card.
Well, do you know any of these people from your dream, or are they all strangers?
Andy.
Intimate.
I'm sorry, what? No, they were all strangers.
Okay, that is strange.
I was
then.
trying to read something.
Like all our dreams had to do with our pastimes. That is odd.
I mean, other than my parents and the mirror, I didn't know these people. Oh, there was also some lady who was leading me through it all. It felt like someone leading me to. I don't know. At first, we were running from something, and then we were just in my bedroom. But she seemed like she was trying to help.
These all, I mean, she is one of those randos with the weird name as well, right?
Yeah, she was
Choose what?
squiggly.
What was her name?
No, her name was
Julia.
Julia. Julia?
Juria. Yeah,
Julia.
with
Julia.
all the tongue, Juria, if you're gonna be American.
Jewelria.
Juria.
Julia.
Or as Kaz called her, Pain.
Oh yeah, that was me.
I can't roll my R's, so I'll
She
just
was
call her
a pain.
Squiggly.
Also known as
Julia.
NBS.
I can't do it unless I do it aggressively.
The last name is
Julia.
NBS, right?
Also, roll
I'm really
a
sorry
quick
for just
history
spitting
check
over.
as
Holy
you hear
shit.
this.
Please go online. I can't.
That's my problem.
Did you try holding the shift key on your keyboard while clicking the power
Nine.
button?
Okay, this here. It sounds like something about this story makes sense, but it's
I know,
not like
I got the
anything you've personally experienced. Whereas I do want Ember and Melody to roll history here.
History is made at night.
Oh, it would be
That's a 9.
18 plus
Is this
18.
Is this a magic item, alchemical object, or technological
It
device?
is a memory.
Dang it!
So,
that
no.
would be.
I'm
Maybe
going
that
to
might
give
have
this to
worked.
you, Melody, right now.
No. What's up?
You remember a conversation back in Hellgrass?
Yeah.
Being with yourself, Ember, and your new friend Dahlia. After brief discussions of different issues that prevailed amongst her here, you remember her describing herself and her abilities as the embodiment of pain. The term pain and being called that immediately makes you think of that.
Okay, I would.
Whether or not that's connected is unknown.
I would say that.
Mine was dirty 20.
There's one.
Third.
I don't think you were you there for that conversation in total? And so I don't know if necessarily Dahlia commiserated that information.
I've never really talked to Dahlia.
Yeah. That she would, and Melody would convey that to the group.
Oh, yeah, that's when we were in the hotel room. Right?
And she was showing you her power, and you guys were transferring feeling between each other. Well, I am just a big ball of confused.
Same.
I think our whole party is.
Hmm?
I think our whole party is.
Does your dreams have anything to do with that situation, Emberman?
Mine was also like a memory. It was the last day I saw my dad in person. And I was packing up to leave for camp. It just honestly makes me question if what I'm doing is the right thing, if it's what I'm supposed to be doing.
I find it really hard to that Legion isn't heavily involved in a lot of what's going on. Based off of, obviously these people in the gray suits have some sort of Legion power, even though Fuzzy doesn't really know anything about them. And then all this shit with Dr. Quadra seemed pretty fucking sketchy, and a lot of it points to the Legion either being behind this or turning a blind eye to what's happening, and I think either way that doesn't put them in a good light.
Yeah,
And
it's.
while,
Oh, go ahead.
and while I don't expect you guys to all share my disdain with the Legion, because I know some of you are still actively members of the Legion, if not all of you.
I am
At least where I'm standing, it would be really hard for me to continue to support and work for the Legion.
It's hard to say whether all these things that we see coming out of these dark corners of the Legion are all connected or not, but there's enough that I think that distrust is absolutely justified and should be our way going forward, but maybe that's just me.
If I could say something that may or may not turn you against me, Mr. Christmas, my one job is to build the bridge between my land and the Legion. I am willing to try to fix the issues at hand and attempt to finish my mission. If you could at least deal with me for the time being until I at least try, then I would make it up for you.
Well,
Would
man,
it-
as long as you don't do anything to actively betray me, I'll help you. I'm not going to hinder your goal with the Legion. I understand that some people have jobs to do with the Legion. I understand that some people are still with the Legion. But on my side, there's very little that someone could do to make me want to be even kind of associated with them.
If I could say something that would put you back on my side, I completely agree with you. My mission to build the bridge is not something I want, it's something I have to do. The Legions have taken so much from me, but if I do not complete this, then there is nothing else I am worth, so please just be patient, you all, just a slight longer. I will make it up for all of you.
Why would you put all of your worth into a group of people or into your job?
It is not for the Legion, it is for my people. For if this deal does not work, then I do not know what they can do. When standing in front of the giant, this small mouse can only beg.
But do you really want that for your people?
Of course I do not want it, but I cannot beat such a monster. Not by myself.
You're not by yourself. Why is it that this group of people, not at all high-ranking members of the Legion, are the ones fixing the Legion's biggest problems? Why is it that they can't send their high-level Sojins and admirals and captains to carry out some of the shit that we have to be doing?
Because the Legion does not want.
Because the Legion doesn't care about its people. The Legion cares about power. The Legion wants to stay in control. They don't give a shit if there is a group of people rising up to take over. as long as they stay in control, they don't give a shit what happens to their citizens. So why should we, and why should your people want to side yourselves with a group that clearly doesn't care for their people?
Because my people have no other choice.
There's always another choice.
I mean, we've seen what the other choice is, and it's not really great.
I'm saying, what if there's a third choice?
Then I will work with you all to find it.
If I can play devil's advocate for just a second, I mean, the Legion, I mean, we've encountered so far not just, you know, the relatively low-ranking members amongst ourselves, but, you know, people like General Fauna who we know that we can trust and who that want the best, independent of whatever secret goals the Legion as an organization has. And if those people, you okay?
Sorry.
And if those people are able to get into power and have the ability to engender genuine good and to actually help, then I don't think that Cloudman's journey is a lost cause. You know, there's always going to be people there to help. It's just, you know, it's going to be cutting through the red tape to get him the help that he needs.
But why would, and don't get me wrong, I think Fuzzy has good intentions, but if he's seen the stuff that Legion does that's not so great and is willing to just stand by and let it happen, is he still a good person?
I mean, I don't think he's standing by and letting it happen. I think that he probably understands that by railing against the Legion from the inside would compromise his position. And, I mean, he didn't become one of the 5 Arknights by doing that. You know?
So once again, he's in it for the power. He's not in it for the meaningful change.
I mean, I don't think we can really speak to what he's in it for if we've never asked him. I would say that he's not a bad person, because if he was, he could have easily just turned you in.
Again, I don't think he's a bad person, but it speaks a lot to a person's character if they are willing to stand by and let things happen.
Yeah, but he also was in the gauntlet trying to get it destroyed.
I mean, if I'm the only one who thinks this way, I'll shut up and I'll help the group.
I mean,
just think
you're
we
not,
I just think we need to honestly evaluate.
Perhaps bide our times until we know that they strike from us matters, rather than establish a large wall and hope for results. Because as of right now, you have said such a thing. We are 8 individuals that do not mean anything to anybody. But we can still push our weight in the right direction someday, sometime, somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can't speak for everybody. I'm not always super jazzed to be a part of this either. But the option was continuing to sleep in the dirt and eat out of trash cans, or
It's not so bad.
speak for yourself, Cloudman.
I am.
It is not safe for a young female to be on the streets. I've had a lot of close calls. And so I feel like all we have to do is our best, and sometimes we have to make an unfavorable choice. But I mean, moving forward, I have something right now that I've never really had before, and that's people, and that's kind of what you were saying too. You know, and so I don't think we should discount that, and we just need to keep our guard up, which we're used to doing, and not be trusting, and know that at any point we may have to flip shit on its head, and just be prepared for that. Because we don't know what's going on the back end, and we're never going to know if we just walk away from it.
continue to work with you guys. I'll continue because, I mean, like I said earlier, you're the first people outside of Aramil and Fuzzy that I've told this to, and so I'm with you guys for the long haul. I just want you guys to be thinking about the issues that I've at least seen with the Legion, and I want us to be aware of the potential for some difficult situations and difficult choices that will need to be made later on. And I want you guys to all know my stance. If it comes down to me choosing between, hell, even the Legion and these mysterious gray-suited people we're fighting for, I don't know if I'm going to pick the Legion.
We'll just have to see.
And if it comes to that and we disagree, just know that I won't at all discount your guys' decision. I won't discount the relationships we had, but I will not be, unless something drastically changes, I will never be on board with the Legion.
Yes, from my perspective, it's a little different for you because the powers that you have were not given to you by the Legion. However, as bad as the Legion can be, and we don't know how deep that corruption goes, we are legitimately good people who have been given power. And I hate myself for continuing to associate with Legion, but with the position that I'm in and the power that I've been given by them, I know that I can do better good than I could otherwise. So it's not about defending the Legion. It's not about defending any of their end goals. It's working with what you have, and sometimes to get to that end goal, you gotta get your hands a little dirty.
And after all, Cloudman stands up here, grabs a twig out of the fire, and just kind of waves it, points it up to the brightest star up in the sky here. It almost looks like a stationary satellite pulsating. And after all, you do not think you can save your teacher man by yourself, is that right, Chris man? You need a small army of hot people to do so. As he throws the stick back into the ground.
I'm gonna stand up with him.
I will also stand up.
I'm gonna reach my hand out to Cloudman.
Ew.
I hold my hand out to high five Cloud.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
he
reaches
steps in the
out
fire a
and
little
holds-
bit. Oh shit, man! Oh!
Yeah, so I'm trying to hold hands and stand up.
He's like, I do not care if we are friends with the Legion or even end up being friends at the end of this small battle at the end of the day. I believe you are helping me for the good of the land. And maybe one day, if something happens between us all, you can forgive us. Because this moment I will remember forever. And hopefully, whatever wrongs I do in the future, you can look back to now and remember that the man of Airs stood with us all at one point. And we believed we would win. Puts his hands down and sits, just kind of collapses back. Then again, I am not even a part of you people. I am an alien of which I do not belong in such a beautiful land. But that does not have to be a constant. If I am successful, who knows, maybe we have more friends hanging out with us. More cars to burn down, people shopkeepers to shoot through the face.
I mean,
and
we do tend to pick up strays.
giant snakes to fight in the sewers.
I mean, I don't think anybody in this group would disagree that you belong as much as anybody else here.
I am a... He stops himself. believe you one day. I hope so. As this conversation comes to a close, the sun peeks over the horizon as the dwindling hours of sundown are beginning to be wiped away by the gleaming orb careening over. The sun sends a wave of fresh warmth to everybody in the group as the fire also peaks over its climax and begins to dim itself and put itself out through its own accord. It's running out of fuel. And as this happens, the folk within the outpost begin to shuffle as well. It is morning time. What do you all do?
Did I rest long enough to get my spell slot back?
No.
Dang
You baby.
Barreled.
Barreled. Bartimus.
Good man. Look at that. Look at this ass.
No.
Look at this ass.
It's like a corgi dog.
Andrew, I have a question.
What's up?
Ass and titties.
Can my inspiring leader,
We're gonna have to repeat that whole conversation.
Oh no.
no.
Alright, from the
Oh,
top.
okay.
everybody.
Can my inspiring leader, does it have to be a talk or can it be a song?
You can make whatever you want, as long as it fits within the timeline.
10-minute song.
Why? What are you doing?
Just gonna sing
Are you
American
gonna sing
Pie in
something?
us.
Because I have something really dumb. I have something really dumb I want to do, but I don't want to waste it if I'm not gonna.
If it's good enough, I'll give it to you.
I don't know if you're gonna. I don't know if you're gonna give it to me. I definitely can't make it last for 10
Today
minutes.
is gonna be the day that the day is gonna be today.
Cause I'm free as a bird.
Free ball.
That is actually a 10-minute song.
Okay. What do you want to try? Oh lord.
I don't know if it's worth wasting it.
American Pie is only 9 minutes.
If
and
you
like
put in
11
enough
seconds.
effort, I'll
Damn.
probably give you some.
Is it called American Pie or is it called The Day the Music Died?
It's American Pie.
Okay.
Okay, so before we get up, like I'll settle back next to Cloudman,
It's me.
and I start playing guitar. And I say, hey, 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 ooh, oh, oh, hostel,
Oh
won't
shit.
you come travel with us?
Oh my god.
You
It's the
won't
Breakfast
be
Club.
You won't be alone anymore, you know it. Tell us your troubles and doubts. Give us everything inside and out. Friendship is strange, so real in the dark. Think of the tender things that we're all working on. Slow change will try to pull us apart. When the light gets into your heart, so come with us. Yeah, I can keep doing the rest, but I didn't think of that part through.
Yeah.
But that's what it's what I want to
Yeah.
do is our breakfast club since
I
we're.
just gave up
We're
halfway
breakfast
through.
club. Okay,
I
well-
don't know, man.
Oh,
That's not inspiring.
yeah, it is.
That feels
Yeah, it is. she
It's
said.
pretty inspiring.
This is your first time doing it.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, give me a fucking break, man. I just decided to do it 5 minutes ago.
Take your hit points.
Thank you.
How much?
It's 8, I think.
8 temp hit points.
8.
Hostels.
And so I'm like reaching my hand out, like playing, and then like reach my hand out.
So Hostel's like just waiting for you to move on to someone else, and it's just like, oh,
It's
so this is just a
it's
song
just-
about me.
Oh, I know that's just like continue. You only talked about Hostel.
Okay,
Okay,
The whole song is
okay, fine.
This feels,
No,
this feels
okay,
very,
well let me
this feels
yeah.
very direct, and
No.
I feel uncomfortable.
Fine, I'll keep going.
I need me to pull up an instrumental of.
No, because I'm gonna just keep like circling.
I'm sorry, Andy. I'm not into you that way. I think we're good friends, but
Indy?
Who's in?
Melody.
Melody, sorry.
Did you say who's Indy?
I mean,
Sorry, Melody, I'm not into you that way. I think we're
I'm not
good
either, man. I'm
friends,
just like,
But like,
I've been working on this song. It's coming. Everyone's like staring at me.
You wanted to do it.
I know.
Fascinating.
Okay. So.
She's like flipping through her notebook.
I know. I'm like, shit. Where's my?
She starts yodeling. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody can get more
Yay.
later. I'll keep working on it, but that's what it does.
Yeah.
I do not like that I was
So
not
what did you
included.
And so we get that 8 temporary hit
Oh,
points.
okay.
I just was trying to do a breakfast club thing.
I like it.
I'm not.
Well, no, actually, I can add more to the
I'm not
guys.
gonna
Yeah,
make
like
that's the name of our group.
Breakfast club.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not up to you.
No, okay. So I kind of play that part, and then it's like, I stand up, and I'm like, I accept the fact that this has been a really rough time, and we've had to spend this time coming together, and that we're working with the Legion, even though Hostile doesn't appreciate it, and maybe we all don't trust it. We're here for a variety of different reasons. But the world is going to look at us a certain way, and all we can do is just keep fighting against that. Oh shit, don't start it right now. I'm trying to read the Breakfast Club note. I'm trying to change it. But each one of us together makes a different piece of a really fucking awesome team. The chaotic cyborg.
That is me.
The fake god.
Fake. It was not. It was okay.
Come I'm doing a thing. The fire wizard. Our little tiny bundle of angst and stress that we all have known to love. Mistress, who I'm pretty sure might kill us, but it's fine.
I'm not the only one. Okay, thank God.
I promise
Remember, I set Fauna's face on fire.
that I will not kill anyone in this party so long as General Fauna still has use of you.
This is a good point. We should
I don't
not
like
piss
this.
off the fauna now.
And Indy. And our new and all of our new animal friends.
We have Carol.
We're unconventional. We've got a really shitty ride, but there's really nowhere else I'd rather be. So to the Breakfast Club, because we're gonna fuck shit up. Fuck you.
Okay. You get your temporary hit points.
Thank you. Barry,
Okey-dokey.
we don't eat dice.
Alright, this is a plan. How are we going to cross this strip? Well, I think these people, I got across because I walked for a few, and then some desert hobos brought me over here.
I mean,
But that was there, and this is here. There might not be any desert hobos over here.
it seems like they have animals that we could possibly rent,
Or don't they have like ATVs or something?
just as long as we don't show them what our van that we rented looks like. We might be able to buy something. Because if they see what our van that we rented looks like, they may not be willing to rent to us.
We should probably drive it off over the horizon, because it is within view of the village.
Where's the
Let's
nearest?
just put the button in it.
Where's the nearest?
The button is dangerous. Why did you go to the shop? I do not remember half of my time there.
Yeah, you tried on a shirt. And
Hey,
took it
try
off.
this shirt on again.
Okay.
It's in my fanny pack. It
You
doesn't
got it
have
in
it.
the muffin top.
Muffin top.
I love it.
Alright. So you guys drive the van away. Ways away so that it's not visible to the outpost here. But your way out. You take a small, like 30-minute hike, maybe less if you guys are in a good morning rush. Yeah, I get it. Over back to the outpost, where basically it's a series of several huts featuring a main building, kind of like a tourist shack that features an individual at the desk. It's very border style. Here's the dude that kind of hiding behind his little bar here, and he's sitting and just kind of absently waiting for people to show up. You guys go in and attempt to negotiate anything for this? What do you do?
Mistress will walk in.
Okay, make sure you walk in.
I'll go with.
I will follow.
You see a tanned figure with kind of like a stubborn kind of viewing widow's peak sitting at this, sitting behind this desk here with a tank top on, and is very clear that he just woke up and kind of stumbled over here. And not expecting any actual tour of them today. He's just kind of filing through paperwork and checking through a mobile laptop on his desk here for whatever he might be looking at the time. Approaching is like, hello, what can I do for you?
We would like to cross the
God bless you.
Scared Baron.
That was their
Strip.
character.
Oh. And is everybody in the hut at this time, or is
I'm in there.
I think I'm outside.
I'm there.
Really? Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I'll be outside. I'm gonna keep working on my lyrics.
Wow, it's normally we don't have people cross like this, so how many people do you have?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, 7.
8 with Cloudman.
No, I think it's 7 with Cloudman.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cloudman.
He said 8 earlier.
No, that was.
That was Hostel referring to like someone else.
I said 2
Talk-
to 8.
Yeah.
So, like,
they had talked to
that'd be
Fuzzy about it
6.
before.
Gotcha. Okay.
But okay. Oh, very well. Well, we have several options. The most popular one is one of our rangers here at the village can basically lead a caravan across the strip. We'd be able to drop you off at a matching outpost on the other side with one of us leading the reins here. You'd be almost completely guaranteed safety from any of the local wildlife that plagues the strip during this time. You'd also be able to more effectively dodge sandstorms, maintain a more healthy well-being among the group as well as having a navigation expert at the strip. You would clear it in half the time you would on your own. This, of course, being a more expensive venture. However, it does guarantee your safety, and we do take responsibility for any unforeseen circumstances on your trip. However, you would also feel free to rent out some of our local wildlife here to be able to escort you across the village as well. Simply a means of transportation, you'd be left to your own devices to find your way across. Expected, of course, to drop these animals back off at the matching outpost on the other side of the strip. Any damage to the animals or the equipment established to you would, of course, be dealt with upon arrival at the other side. And so these options are available for you. If you wanted to do the escort, it would be, and he kind of gazes around the people here, we're going to say $800 per person as a one-way trip. So totaling the 7 people, is that $56,600.
I was like, what?
And for just the wildlife?
Renting out the wildlife itself would be about $200 per one-way trip per each animal rented out. The issue there being, of course, the safety dealing with and your ability to navigate on your own. Those are the differences.
Well,
feel I'm going to discuss this with my colleagues, and I will probably be back.
Very well. And he kind of sinks back in his chair and starts scrolling through on his computer again.
So, we just need to go west, right?
Right.
The sun doesn't like suddenly start rising in a different direction in the strip, does it?
No, I would assume not.
Yeah.
Well then, I think we've got navigation down.
Give me a nature check here, mistress, or anyone else who really thinks they have any knowledge of the Western Strip.
I feel like Hasso probably flirted
Mon
with
might
it.
just because
You
of
would've
like his
known
experience
about
in the
it for
Legion.
sure. Just about.
I mean, Indy.
No, Indy wouldn't know.
Check nature, right?
Nature,
16.
I do also have keen mind.
17.
So
Oh.
that actually-
Oh, that's
I'm
a
not- I'm not
that's a
here,
nat
though. I'm
one for
outside.
Mod. Mod doesn't
Oh,
know shit.
no.
Well, no. Mistress came out to talk to everyone.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, don't.
I studied
That's
about maths when I was
Yeah, that changes things.
You know more through your book smarts of knowing the geography of the land, whereas Hostel would definitely know through stories told throughout the hunt, the travelers and stuff that had crossed over from New Atlanta, which anyone crazy enough to not take a train get over through there would definitely have a story to tell about the travels through the Western Strip. It's not as straightforward as it seems, as the desert grows via an infestation, which is the main cause of the many sandstorms and the traveler attacks that happen across it. The sandstorms frequent every day and can be known to be very disorienting if you survive them.
Could we potentially get a map of the route with Mistress's keen mind? Keen mind, you always know what direction.
His
you're-
route.
Yeah.
And you
So.
know where you've been and what time it is.
And I can recall anything within the past month.
Yeah,
I've
that
been a part
is very useful for this exact situation. I think if we can get a map of it, we should be able to rely on Ember for navigation. So, just $200 per person per sandfish.
Do they take credit? Yeah.
Legion credit.
Yeah, do they take credit? That's a serious question because
Do they take gold?
I have
card?
$98 in not credit.
You can always ask.
I mean, I would have to imagine they would take credit.
I'll poke my head in. Hey yo,
Do you take
Whoa.
credit?
do you take credit?
Who has cash?
Is that a yes?
This is modern society.
Okay, I'm just saying because like I couldn't get cash back on my credit when I bought a Slurpee, so.
We'd be able to charge a card if need be, yeah.
Okay, tight. Thank you. Let me shut this down.
So going back to the group there.
Yeah, I'll say, oh yeah, they take credit. Let's do it. Oh, we got his back.
You're about to be booked.
Uh-oh.
He's like, no, please.
Yeah.
Not the
And then
fucking.
fuck yeah.
Alright. So after discussing that, there's like, oh, we did not get to go in the fancy caravan. That is upsetting.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
what kind of wildlife? Are they like worms, snakes? Like, do we get to ride a camel? I don't know. What kind of wildlife?
Are there? We discussed this. There are like strange carnivorous camels now.
Oh,
Or-
all animals are carnivorous.
Okay.
You might as well not even say carnivorous. Save yourself some breath.
Come
I,
That's a horrible noise.
with your history check, you know the biggest issue with the Sonoran Strip here is that there have been an infestation of these creatures that kind of resemble giant sand fleas, like you'd find at the beach. They're known as
Sand fleas?
They're known as vonulids, which are essentially creatures that kind of look like they're wearing the shell of giant turtle shells that kind of pull themselves along with fist-like tongues.
Ew. Excuse me?
Fist-like tongue.
They get to the size of modern day tanks. It's the maximum size, and
They're mole crabs.
they are virtually undetectable from the surface.
Holy shit.
And there's also a big rumor
Ugh.
they're what causes one of the biggest sandstorms that goes through.
Man, I don't want to do that.
Well, I feel
I'll take the caravan.
just meta here.
No, he's just sitting.
You make the weirdest face.
Meow.
Okay, keep going.
Just meta here. Can we afford a guide?
So one of us can.
It
And I believe you
feels
guys
like-
did have your cards renewed.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
everybody should be back at 1,000.
okay.
Yes. we
Except for Cloudman, who has no cards.
Okay.
Find me a little fucking mooch.
I am just sitting with all. I don't know the card. We'll just walk.
If we all pay for ourselves, can you cover Cloudman Hostel?
Yeah, I should be able to.
We
We
should
might get an angry call from Fuzzy, but
all
that's
be
Yeah,
able
but it'd
to,
be nice to hear from him.
We should be able to afford the guide then. Should we?
Yeah.
How big are the sand fleas?
I think we're badass.
Tank size.
They get the largest variety have been seen to get up to the size of modern day tanks.
Do we ride them?
No, they are the problem. with the
Those are
desert.
the enemies we will be encountering.
Oh, I thought you said that those were going to be our guide.
This man has a series of sand sharks that have been stabilized here that would basically escort you along in like a sled like vehicle that should be.
Oh, that's fucking cool. Yeah, guys, I really don't want to run into some Beetlejuice shit out here.
Remember, yeah, they also mentioned getting any damage to any of the equipment, including the equipment they give you, the sleds, the animals would upcharge you when you got to the other
Yeah, we
side.
may as well get a guide.
All right.
Let's
so,
do it.
Mistress will go in.
Maybe we'll fall in love with the guide.
Actually,
We'll be like
Mistress
a
will try to gather everyone's
Dagon
cards up here,
situation.
so that she can just go in and pay for it. Like,
I'll take
Split
my
up.
own card.
okay.
I have an idea.
What's
Yeah.
your idea?
Charge
I-
one
I walk-
fuzzy.
I walk in.
It's a great idea.
Congratulations, you did it.
Hey, listen. We're about to have 7 people pay for the guide and everything. Any chance we could, since we're paying for since we have 7 people coming, that's quite a bit of money. Any chance we could pay for 6 and you could throw in the 7th for free?
Make a persuasion.
Can I assist?
You gotta say something.
Yeah, I'd say yeah, and we're on very important Legion business, and so your shop would look favorable in the eyes of the government if
And-
you assist, if you help us.
And yeah, I hold out my gold card too. It's kind of like a
Okay. What did you roll with advantage?
14.
14.
Well, I do want to go ahead and let you know as well, we don't actually receive a lot of physical business here, so we do rely on these funds coming in. I don't want to hamper any Legion business. I'm already behind on my debts as it is, but I would be able to lower some of the base for you.
Yeah, honestly, that would just be really nice, and I can certainly.
It's like, I don't want to cause any trouble, but you do understand this is how we eat.
Absolutely. And I think I can talk with my higher ups and we can discuss the possibility of using you as our primary way to physically get across the
You guys would
Western Strip.
do that?
I can talk to him and see what
Man,
we can
everyone
do.
uses the gates nowadays. Nobody wants to see the beauty of the desert.
Yeah,
Man.
I'll talk to him and see. I can't make any promises, certainly.
I mean, just any sort of foot traffic being pointed in this direction would be amazing. There's just nothing nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, you have 7 Legion members using you. I think this could be the start of something new.
Use it. I don't like that.
Be the
No.
start of something new.
Huh? Yeah, let me crunch some numbers real quick and see what I can bring you down to.
Thank you.
And Andy's
Yeah, I know it's not. based on what I'm looking at here, it wouldn't quite cover the fee of a free person, but would 700 for each person work?
How much was it before?
800. Yeah, I think that would be awesome
Ultimately
if you.
saving you
$6.95. You got a deal. I'm just
$700.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I think that would be great help.
So it's like, if I apologize to that, officers. It's the best I can give you, though.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I'll talk to my higher ups and see if we can work something out with you.
For sure, yeah. Take your time. I'll be here all day.
And I hand them my card and say I'm paying for 2 people.
Okay, so you run your card for both Cloudman and yourself, correct? So that'd be $1,400. That rings in to an unknown well of cash somewhere. Card goes through.
Oh wow. This is what a gold card looks like. That's crazy. Who do you work under?
General Fauna.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. What does he look like? I've only ever seen the mask.
He's huge, imposing guy, like 10 feet tall, super muscular.
I've seen him in, oh.
Swings
Wow.
around a cinder block on a chain.
Yeah.
Mistress does not say that.
Yeah, like I said,
The player says
bombshell.
that, not the character.
I purely just described it. What was his name again?
The cinder block guy?
Yeah.
Bombshell.
I purely just described Bombshell.
This is weird.
It's crazy. I thought he did stuff with animals.
Oh, he does that too. He does
Oh.
everything.
Oh no.
Cool. Okay, yeah.
You
that's,
don't want to see what he does with animals.
Fortunate, that's you got yourself a deal. Thank you. I'll print you off tickets. I hope you guys are fine. We normally only have 2 ATVs, and we'd be able to split up larger parties. One of our ATVs has been outfitted already by a patron from the previous evening, actually. So we'd have to fit you all into one. The one of them is currently being loaded up for a journey right now. If that's up for you.
Mind if I ask, based off of official Legion business, who that is?
Make a persuasion.
I need to stop doing this. I have a plus
This is the
0 to
game!
persuasion.
This is the game!
I have a plus 0 to persuasion.
This is the game!
19.
Shut up then! You with your bad dice.
Yeah, just I mean, normally customers are pretty confidential, but it's just about a group of 4 people. This taller person and a group of these smaller scouts came in out of nowhere yesterday and requested a ride across.
Can I do a history check to see if I can think of anyone?
Yeah.
18.
If you're sitting back here and taking some time, the thought crosses your head that, well, I know one person that uses smaller individuals for scouts and for like grunt work and whatnot, and we killed a whole van full of them on the way here.
Is it Lua? Is that who I'm thinking?
That's the first thing that pops to your head. But you remember as well, you don't know whether it's a group of gnome passing through.
Okay.
You weren't given any physical description.
Can I describe Lua and ask if that's who it is?
Yeah. So describing it to the man looks back and is like, well, I don't think so. This figure is bald.
Oh.
Although they did have quite a nasty mark on their head. So I don't know if that meant anything. Is that your description at all? Just it looks like a burnt glass wound. It's really weird. I've never seen anything like it.
Interesting.
I don't know if you can get it's like a piercing, but somebody pierced glass into their head. And I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. You might not take myself at face value.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for the info. I'll have the rest of my colleagues come in and pay for their way.
Thank you once again, officer. I'm glad that you could stimulate our business.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And I'm gonna go out and ask immediately about a bald guy and see if anyone in the group knows.
Okay, while everybody else is going in and making their purchases on the cards here, I do go ahead and give me an investigation as you're out there.
God, $700.
19.
Him. Okay. I guess investigation is intelligence. Roll.
Yeah.
Making your way out here, the first thing you do is kind of you run out to the vehicles that the two ATVs that are parked kind of near the edge of the strip. Just slightly outside the encampment here, and there's under close watch from. They're very close to the village, so they have near sight of it. You see outside of this vehicle here a group of 3 kobolds loading
Oh my God.
water jars onto one of the ATVs, and then one of the
Sorry, I thought
employees
of a kobold.
kind of escorting them and pointing to places to put stuff.
Alright, I'm gonna relay that information to the group. Guys, oh my god.
I know.
Oh my god.
Listen,
There-
I know how to deal with kobolds.
The employees there too, I think that it would probably look bad on us if we just ran over and attacked a bunch of fucking kobolds.
So
Yeah.
here's an idea.
But it'd be fun.
Let's just go get some beer.
I don't know if there is any beer over here, Andy. But
Is it?
here,
Fine.
I pull my flask out of my boot and give it to you. I got you. Now I'm running
This is
low,
meta.
so
This is
Okay,
not
just one swig.
Mr.
I mean,
Sanders
you can
to-
have it. But
And I didn't want you to realize
I
here,
think I
you
shot
didn't
a
quite
spot
notice
and
it, but
take a
after the
couple
whole
of
campfire incident and just the transition from there to being inside the outpost and whatnot, your bird is not with you right now.
your bird.
The bird
Sanctuary.
sanctuary.
Oh, and I also grabbed Carol. Put her in the ball.
Where the fuck is she?
You brought her onto the ball with you.
It.
As you think about it,
Where's she?
your eyes glow once again. And in front of you, a pair of small eyes being glowing, hovering like this as the outlines appear.
Baby.
And it collapses in your hands, your eyes fade out, and the bird becomes fully opaque.
So does it just only appear if I'm thinking about it? What
It's you're not entirely sure what the science behind this is. This is a phenomenon that you were not prepared for. Anyway, hostile. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, you're good. They're kobolds. He described the person coming in with the kobolds as a bald man with a glass scar. Is there any way Luwak is able to change forms?
Nalu was not cool enough to do that.
Because
Maybe, I don't know.
I completely did a factory reset and it's still
I was like, I do not know. I am trying to think less and less of them all the time, so probably not. I know that did not help, I'm sorry.
it's okay. Let's just be on the lookout because it may be them.
Very well. Going in, the rest of you guys purchase your tickets for everybody here. $700 each. That would deduct from your $1,000 unless you guys have spent any of that money since you got renewed, which was pretty recently, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
I think Mistress's credit line's a little bit bigger.
Yes.
Going from there, everybody having tickets ahead, this merchant would lead you all out to the ATV out in the field here.
He's like, alright, so if you guys have any things you want to load on from your travels, now would be the time to do so. We're probably going to actually leave here a little bit closer to noon. I know that sounds bad, traveling through a desert at peak sunrise, but I'll be honest with you, you don't want to be out there at night. So the sooner we leave, the better. Or any time close to when the sun is not at its peak. So the sooner we leave, the better.
What's going on?
It's like permanently on airplane mode. And I've like completely done a factory reset and I don't know why it's just not letting me on the internet anymore.
Sure.
Sorry.
Some of those laptops have like a switch on the side.
Oh yeah, mine has one.
Yeah.
On my car, but I turn it off and on. I hit it all the flipping time.
This happens again.
Once
Oh.
again.
I am a god.
Nice.
That literally makes no sense.
Oh,
Thank
What
you.
happened? So you probably just
Good job,
accidentally
Angel.
moved it.
You nailed it.
There's a
Switch.
physical
Nice.
switch.
Great, I'm glad that I completely
Waste your time.
erased it,
So what are
everything
we
on
writing?
just ask me. Yeah. No, you're fine.
Andrew, what are we writing?
There's it is an ATV. I don't know if any of you played Halo 3. It kind of resembles
Mongoose.
like a long version of a larger, more
A warthog.
of the choppers actually that the brutes would ride in the
Oh.
It's a lot
Actually,
bigger
they're
and it would
accurate.
be able to station much more equipment. Not necessarily something that individuals would ride on. This would be more like a caravan, and you'd walk outside of it during the travels here. Either walk on or you'd hang onto the side.
Is the
You'd
other
only-
ATV still here?
Huh?
Is
Yeah,
the
that one's
other-
still here. Yeah, they're loading up and
This is
they're
what we're
getting ready
driving.
to take off.
That's how we're driving.
Yes, exactly.
Are you putting us into like a Mad Max scenario?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Alright. As you guys begin loading stuff on here, Hostel, you get a call on your phone.
I look at it.
Oh no.
It is an unknown number. It is followed by a series of texts that say, "Call me." You didn't call.
I call back.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh my God, it's you!
It's
You-
me.
Fat acorn-looking sack of fuck.
Hey, you little piece of sleeping bag shit.
What?
What?
I like it.
Roll an intimidation.
6!
You shut the fuck up! You have any idea how pissed off I am right now?
I mean,
I got off of a 5-minute phone call with the finance department at Bravemind. I have to go into surgery. How much shit's been pushed into me? I can't.
what do you want from me? We have to cross this goddamn
What are
desert.
you buying? That's $1,400.
We have to cross this goddamn desert.
Why are you not traveling via Trangate?
Because
You
we
idiot!
have this bitch who can't.
What the fuck? Why? What do you? You literally have to be a terrorist of the state to not ride the Trangates.
Exactly.
Why are you traveling with a terrorist of the state?
You know.
He seems like a stand-up guy.
Oh God! Oh, my face is going numb. I'm so pissed. No! No, get the fuck away from me! I'm not ready for my tea. Anyway.
Hey, just letting you know, the doctor told me that I wasn't allowed to come back to the Capitol. So,
What?
yeah.
What are you talking about?
He like contacted me somehow and said if I came to the Capitol, he'd probably kill me.
He told you that?
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense why the captain just recently dropped my mission I had to do for him next week. Or not the captain, the doctor. What the hell'd you do to him?
I mean,
You don't want to be on the doctor's bad side.
I got rid of that fucking mark he put on me.
Really? You got rid of the mark by yourself?
Sure.
You're an Argier!
Oh yeah? Sweet.
How'd you do that?
Actually, does he know about Cloudman with us at all?
I don't think he's met Cloudman yet.
So there's a person with us. He's the reason that we can't travel through Trangate. He took it off for me.
If I can quietly allude to my previous question as to why you're traveling with the terrorist of the state, as the captain of domestic security, and he who controls the people that shouldn't be traveling around dangerously, would like to know.
Do you know of a Cyocton that got banned from being able to travel?
Cyoctans don't normally travel here.
So there's a Cyocton here. He calls himself the Man of Airs.
Oh, Man of Eris.
Yeah, he's the reason we can't travel through Trangate. We're traveling with him currently.
Oh, is that why you guys were asking about all the... Wait, no, I'm thinking of something else. Okay.
What?
Well, if that's the...
I mean, if you're in charge of like who can travel, could you like get rid of this
I'd have to
block? And
I'd have to contact whoever put the ban out on him in the first place. Do you have any idea who that possibly is?
I mean, we're going to what, Atlanta City? Is that right?
New thing answer.
We're going to New Atlanta to meet with whoever he was supposed to meet with. I basically kind of just tell Fuzzy about what's going on.
Okay.
Well,
So I don't know if like the person we're meeting with is the reason that he can't travel or what, but
this is kind of a little worrisome. You did ask me to look up some of those names you gave me a while back. Is that correct? The one with all the border and the brass?
yeah.
Well, I told you a while back I did a research on what's it called? An individual that I thought matched that description of yours that worked for the Legion. We have a Sergeant Tremlane that works here.
Oh yeah.
I told you he runs a small outpost that works as an embassy between a different faction. He is the sole proprietor of the Manaveras business. He runs the company now, and has for several months. But he passed the Zone of Truth test, so if anybody has any connection to it, I suppose we can try to get the ban restricted by contacting him.
Okay. Well, and I think that's who we're working our way to meet with. So
Okay.
if we can't get it lifted, then I mean we're gonna be seeing him hopefully in the next few days.
Well, you're not far if you're just crossing the strip here. New Atlanta's just on the other side. And I'm not actually annoyed about the money. It's just, I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah, I
we should
mean,
start telling him.
There's not a lot of
before we
people to
buy
talk
stuff.
to out here.
I get it. Like you got to deal with all the fucking uppity white collar pieces of shit up there. When you should be out like beating shit up and living the life.
So, Hostile, I got a bit of bad news for you.
What's
You know I said that my issues with the doctor have been canceled, that I no longer have to do whatever the fuck he was wanting me to do because you guys did all that shit for him.
Mm-hmm.
I am going on a bit of an emergency hiatus. Me, the captain, and a couple more of my colleagues are attending a meeting over in the Malik Assembly across the seas. We are experiencing quite a bit of tension between these fuckers, and well, I think the captain thinks we can negotiate some sort of deal with them, but if the Malik Assembly across the seas is the center stronghold of non-Legion soldiers on the other side of the planet, he wants to go there as armed as possible, even though we want to play this peaceful. You didn't hear this from me, but we're gonna be gone for quite a while. So I don't want to necessarily leave you guys with nothing, just in case you do need to contact me again. I'm gonna send something your way, alright? You
Alright.
still have that sniff stone of mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
So who's that leave in charge if you guys are all gone? Does that leave the doctor in charge?
I'm gonna once again say this in a way that doesn't make this completely out in the open. Nobody knows the captain's leaving.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Nobody knows the captain is going off on this mission. It's a private affair. It wouldn't be wise if people got word that the captain wasn't protecting the capital. I'm only telling you because in case you try to contact me again, I'm not gonna be there, and I'd like to at least be that kind of transparent if you do want to gain some sort of trust with me.
Well, hey, thanks for the heads up. I guess if you need anything, contact me somehow, and I'll see what I can do to help.
You guys are annoying enough. You guys are too annoying to be killed. You'll be fine. Yeah. If you need to contact someone about that travel ban, I guess that's your best bet. But other than that, you're already halfway there.
Alright.
Might be more fun just to cross the desert anyway. I'll send something your way. I have as long as you expose that stinky stone, I should be able to find you.
Alright, I'll suffer through that for you.
Alright. Take it easy.
Alright, yeah, fuck you.
For fuck, fuck!
Pissed him off.
And everyone else sees me just after I hang up, just go, yes.
Okay. After that phone call, once again, you're
Are
left.
you winning, son?
You're left right outside of this ATV here.
Okay.
along with the employee that's helping you guys load up stuff onto the vehicle. I don't know if many of you went out to your vehicle. I assume you went back and grabbed Carol and then came back. And,
Yeah.
but you're there, and then the vehicle next to you here is getting ready to take off as well. And so, what do you do?
Was Maud close to? I guess I would have been like with the main group, but was Maud at all close enough to like hear that conversation with
Yeah, you guys are all right next to each other. I'm sure you heard at least Hansel's side, not
Right.
necessarily Fauna's side.
Yeah, Maud, what did Fuzzy have to say?
Is there are the employees still around? Like, within earshot?
They're kind of shuffling back and forth between the ATVs and their huts to make sure that the vehicles are properly maintained, oiled up,
Okay.
fastened down. So they're not necessarily anywhere near you guys. They're dealing with the cars at this moment. And there's only the two dudes.
Yeah. Some pretty sensitive Legion information. Actually, come with me, and I'm gonna get everyone and see if I can get them out of earshot of everyone else.
Okay. Moving
And
away.
I'm gonna say hey, leave your phones and everything on the ATV. We don't need anyone hearing what I'm about to talk to you guys about.
Okay.
The group crosses over the strip border out to when the sand starts to gravel up a bit.
Still keeping an eye.
Yeah,
Only when it's still our shit.
You're
And
keeping
then-
an eye on it as well.
Once we're out of earshot, I'm gonna basically just go over the whole phone call.
Okay. Whatever the call, you guys, that information would have been relayed to you.
So,
Was it wise to share this when we don't know if that one individual is listening in?
it seemed as though she was listening through our phones because when we went into the static, she said that she wasn't able to spy on us.
You would remember that this, in the majority of times she's communicated with you, has been telepathy.
Oh, has it?
She just hasn't been able to track you for some reason while you're in there.
Well, probably not then.
All right. Well, now that there's no going back, perhaps
I'm so afraid of Mistress.
these. Do you recall the unpleasantness with the Umber Hulk and could this not be exactly the opportunity those people are looking for?
Yeah, I could see that.
And
Has General Fauna been warned about that?
I don't believe so, no.
yeah, we haven't told anybody higher up about what we learned about Trim Lane.
Perhaps we should.
I can call him back.
Might not be the worst idea. I mean, he'll probably be irritated that you're bothering him again. But if he and so many people are, going literally overseas, this might be our last chance to warn anybody.
It does sound like only the people who are going know. And Tremlay is not very high up. So as long as our conversation isn't being listened into right now, I don't think there's gonna be any issues.
However, if you have been told, perhaps others have as well. And can you definitively say that everyone who is potentially close to any of the higher ups would be as trustworthy as you?
I see where you're coming from, however, I don't know what we're gonna do with that information.
Tell General Fauna.
I mean, if nothing else,
Just
it-
make sure that he is aware that it is a possibility.
Despite being one of the Arknights, it seems to me in my conversations with him, he doesn't really have much sway as far as telling other higher ups what to do. and so he may have that information. But and I'm happy to disclose all of this with him. However, I don't know if it's gonna do much good. because they
There
don't
just
really-
doesn't seem to be any downside to it.
Yeah, for sure.
At the very least, he needs to.
And he does have many subordinates, does he not?
Yeah.
Perhaps he could place people in some key positions, just in case.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could certainly tell him and let him know what we know. And, you know, if he doesn't do anything with that information, at least we can be more safe knowing that we did everything we could
Right.
in our position.
That seems wise.
Okay. So I'll run back on my phone, come back and like call him on and put him on speaker.
Okay. Roll perception as you do this.
Oh.
I don't want to though.
So-
9. No. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just want to know the kobolds on this other ATV. How many are there?
3.
3. And how close together are they?
They're scattered around the vehicle. They're not necessarily all like lollipop kinning with each other.
Okay.
So they're more than 5 feet away from each other.
All right, but
single
like,
file.
are they occasionally getting within like a 10-foot radius?
In the same situation that a family traveling across the nation would eventually get close to each other while they were fueling gas, yeah?
And how many times can Ember cast Fireball?
Oh my god.
I'm not advocating for anything necessarily.
Twice.
I mean, I can just shatter them.
No, I
That
had
worked
it. As soon
really
as you're
well
like, how
last
close
time.
are they? I was like, twice. Like, I cast it twice.
That's all I needed to know. Carry on.
Ember,
last time
you
I
were
killed them all in
actively
one shot
keeping
as
watch
well.
during this whole situation. You roll me a perception.
Yeah, they're not gonna
Let's-
steal
got
my
9,
fucking
but-
You got a 9.
no
yeah.
shit.
Then a
Probably
five.
didn't
You're,
say anything.
you're
I mean, yeah.
mostly
but they'll
focused
just,
on
like,
your
explode.
phone. You do fine and are able to bring back as well.
19.
Ember, as Hostile begins turning and running back in that direction, you see something scurry away from your van.
Motherfucker.
It's a leech.
Is it the freaking kobold?
It's just like, it's one of those situations, it's like,
It's just a thing.
just kind of runs back over. Just kind of, it wasn't necessarily anything dubious, just like curiosity. Like he was too close. Too close.
How
He's
far
dead.
away?
He was too close. He was right up next to it. Just kind of like,
Well, from
almost.
us.
It's about like 70 to 100 feet. You guys walked out so that no one would hear you.
Could you you could yell at me.
What do you have?
What?
What do you have?
That stuff.
Stuff? Well, I was gonna go after it, but my thing is only 30 feet. Yeah, we both could cast Firebolt at it.
Yeah.
But it's also, do we want to cause a fight? We could
Right.
just chase him down.
You remember the situation you're in now. You're in an outpost being set up for travel in a peaceful city.
Yeah.
And so there are always consequences, but it's up to you guys.
I think we should just chase him down,
Just kill them.
if anything.
Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
if you
just,
let me know, I'm already like headed that way.
Chase him down, shove him in the pouch.
Just hold him in there forever.
Put him in the shirt.
Just one by one, abduct the kobolds.
With
Shove them in.
I know with a bag of holding, it meant like within 5 minutes you start suffocating.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
We're not gonna suffocate anyone when we could just explode them.
Alright. So yeah, if you tell me,
Yeah, I let you guys know.
I am like kind of like walking towards the ATV. And when she says that, I turn and like start sprinting at the kobold who just ran away from.
He's like 100 feet away.
Was it a kobold?
Yeah, it was cool.
Okay.
Sprinting, with Embers, was like, hey, there's someone running away. And Hostile would change his motives immediately and start bolt out to the other side of the car. And sure enough, the
Hostile
little
turns into the
little tiny
T-1000.
dragonoid head just kind of popping out, just.
Ooh, actually, hold on.
Freaking
You
cool.
say that, and this is probably dumb. I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself
Oh
and
my
then
god.
run towards
Okay.
that way, so they can't see me.
Okay, you cast invisibility. Sure enough, your visage blends in with the surroundings around you. The light bends in such a way that it clears you from occlusion from view, and you start running for where the kobold is running. The kobold basically just does a cannonball into the other caravan, just like trying
Okay.
to hide.
Why are
I'll
they so dumb?
Once I
Well,
get
into
close-
it like it goes into it, like tries to hide. It
Once
doesn't
I
just
get-
crash into
once
it.
I get close, I'm gonna like slow down and just like kind of sneak up and see if I can like hear them talking, or if I can see like if he took anything from
Mm-hmm.
our van, ATV, whatever.
Okay. Getting up to the van here. Do make me a stealth with advantage. Sure.
Okay.
Just to obscure any loud noises you might make.
Nat 20.
Okay, yeah.
Finally.
You make your way out there. You must slide past some of the workers and other kobolds that are just kind of darting around here. You perch yourself onto the vehicle itself. You put your ear right up to it. And you hear one noise, which is just a series of
Oh my
just
god.
horrible, inaudible, like licking and screeching, and then you hear a
Oh.
shh, shh, just a silent, just kind of hushing of the noise, and as it happens, the creature kind of calms down, appears to be like terrified for its life.
God.
From not the person making the noise, but from the encounter of it being spotted.
He was like, hey!
Yeah.
Is there any talking at that point?
The creature doesn't seem to mind needing to talk to this creature. It's almost like it wouldn't do any good.
Shit. Can I? Is there like grates that I can like look in?
You'd be able to like pull apart the curtain that's kind of obscuring
like,
the
just-
inside of the caravan.
Can I just peek it open and like just look in with one eye?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that way like it maybe just like looks like the wind moved it or something. And I just want to like look in and see like if he.
Make a perception as you do this. Just kind of like blitzing inside to see.
You're a hungry boy.
He's like,
Went to 17, bounced off the side and landed on 3.
Ooh.
of course.
There are two figures inside.
Right.
As far as just the immediate instance of a watch matches the description of what the man said. I mean, there's a kobold, and there seems to be a person there that's bald.
Okay. Oof, man. No. You know,
Oh man.
this is a lot of stupid that's happening.
Yeah, well that tracks.
I'm gonna like. So inside, is it like just 2 seats that they're sitting at, or is it like a space?
It's just this is space for cargo, and this individual is kind of like napping out in like a stowaway wood in the back of the van with a bunch of stuff in. It's not necessarily any seats.
Okay. I think I'm gonna see if I can sneak into the cargo hold.
Okay.
And then I want to just like sit cross-legged.
Make another stealth with advantage.
15.
Just 1 second here. Okay, 15?
Yeah.
Okay. That did match the passive perception of this individual, but I believe the roller wins, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
Okay. So I'm just gonna like sit down, cross-legged, drop the invisibility on myself. Say, why were you looking at our ATV?
The kobold immediately bursts into a shriek and just leaps from the car. It just shoots out. And as it does, the figure just kind of like, oh! Just kind of like being awoken from a nap that it was trying to have. Just kind of creaks its head over. And as this individual looks at you, you see the face of an individual wearing kind of these silken robes, kind of very much to match the flowing nature of allowing heat to travel in and out through this hot climate. I hate her. Kind of the eyes kind of bagged, a look of the pure loss of energy and the need for this nap during the day, and just irritability as they look over at you here. And sure enough, it's the description of the character in the band matched. It's just a series. It's like the oddest scar, like enveloping the back of the head here, kind of going down the back of the neck. It seems like it would be like a burn mark, but it resembles lizard scales, and they look to have the consistency of glass and not actual scale.
Huh.
As the figure looks over, makes contact with you, there's a brief smile. Hello, friend.
Why were you looking through our ATV?
Oh, please. I was just having a nap.
Why was your friend looking through my ATV?
I don't control these little beasts.
Give me a straight answer.
Allow me to put myself together before we have such a kerfuffle. As she gets up, pulls her wig from underneath her, slips her hair back on. Happy now.
Why
Yeah.
were you looking through our ATV?
Oh, I am not. I've been sleeping, as you could see. Anything else before you invade my privacy some more? I'm really not in the mood, darling.
Listen, a lot of fucked up shit has happened to us recently, and you seem to be the cause of about half of it.
Just
Start
a little
giving me
bit of
answers
it.
now.
Just a small amount.
Start giving
please.
me answers now.
You make it seem so easy to throw blame. I wonder if it truly is. Maybe I should try it.
Not appreciate you, Pen.
Okay. I'm traveling across the desert. Are you happy?
Why are you following us?
Well, somebody a part of your group that I have interest in. I thought we talked about this. And I can't simply fly across
Stuck.
vast miles. Why were you wanting a ride? Because I have room.
Option 3.
As Ua kind of stretches her arms across here, cracks her neck, and sits up and kind of faces you here, cross-legged.
What do you want with me?
Make intimidation.
God damn it. 5. All my stupid bullshit rolls, I'm rolling great. All my real rolls that I need.
Yeah, that tracks.
Normandy, you misconstrue me. I'm but a hired hand of her folks. The leaders of the town want her back, and so I bring her back. Roll insight.
5.
Okay. It's a very straightforward answer, and she keeps contact with you and never really leaves the wry smile. It's very hard to tell too much authenticity, but it makes sense. I mean, you met her parents.
Okay, but if she wants, if you were hired to bring her back, why haven't you just taken her and brought her back?
Alright. Third time's the charm. There's someone else in your group that is, well, more specifically, you all are traveling to somewhere in which I have pristine interest in.
Why?
It's smarter for me to wait and keep you alive until you get there and then take the creature back.
Why do you have interest in New Atlanta?
Not New Atlanta. You all are so narrow-minded. It's the city I'm after. New Atlanta, I could teleport there anytime, but I wouldn't be able to keep track of you once I did that.
So you're also interested in the Psyops?
Oh yes. That man has information that might prove interesting. Nothing more. I don't wish any more harm amongst you.
I don't, off the top of my head, remember the people in like the gray suits.
Mm-hmm.
but I want to basically ask her if she knows them, or like if she works with them.
You
Yeah.
describe them to her.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you know anything about them?
Palegrass ran a small fighting ring about a week ago that, well, as you might know, is no longer a thing. The harbingers of that group set station in town and was approved by the Jameson estate for their entry. I knew about their entrance in the city and that was it. I do not swat flies that aren't on me.
Can I roll insight on that just
Yeah,
to see if she
go ahead.
17.
That seems pretty authentic.
Okay, so like I can kind of assume that she doesn't actually
seems like
know
a third
who-
party, honestly.
Okay. So you really just work for the Jamesons.
I just work for the Jamesons.
Inside goddamn. Fuck me, 8.
Okay, yeah. Once again, it's the same face as before. It's hard to believe someone who could kill so easily would be able to lie just as easily, but it's hard to tell.
Oh. Any
So what-
chance I could convince you to quit your
To fuck off.
contract with them and do something for me?
I lose my job if I turn them down, sweetie. It's like accepting a check for $100 and abandoning $100 a week.
But okay. Well,
No, I am fully reasonable. I am willing to make the best of our little desert journey. Do you all want to travel together?
No.
Come on, it'll be fun. We could play a little game of Knives Out. Who kills who first? It is 7-on-1 after all. Little old me just as these shitty little kobolds. They're so fragile.
you know,
TPK. TPK.
I once made the mistake.
Come on, I could see you smile. You want to kill some kobolds too, don't you?
I mean, yeah, it's super fun.
It sure is.
But I once made the mistake of attacking you when I was in a vulnerable position, and I'm not going to do the same. Next time I attack you, it's going to be in a position where you're going to die.
What? I admire that. I
Okay.
hope you channel your friend as you do. Well, we are enemies after all, if you do remember my phrasing. But we have an interest. The strip is no deal that should be undermined. I won't quarrel with you on the journey if you won't quarrel with me. But that is entirely up to you, friends. What'll it be? This will be, if you did want to think about this over the week, a good question to leave off on.
Good deal.
Since we are at 10:30 here.
10:30.
Well, that was a roleplay session. Don't expect to be so lucky next time.
Yeah, we're gonna kill these
TPK.
kobolds.
TPK.
I was so close whenever I got in there just to
That would have been a
cast,
real fun brawl if you shot one of those
just
kobolds.
to
and
cast
stuff.
Thunderwave, like while I was sitting in there. Do 3d8 worth of damage and just see what I can do before I fucking die.
I still think we should have gone the Metal Gear Solid shove a kobold in the pouch method. Like one at a
It's always
time.
next session.
Abduct the kobolds, shove them in the pouch, then go on to the next kobold.
There's always next session.
Right now.
Thank you guys.
I was told.
I know.
For
Let
having
me
us.
turn this up. I know we've missed